back in the lab for another episode of
Rotovation, baby.
Spartans! What is your profession?
Episode 10, dude. 10 episodes in.
Episode 10, man.
That's exciting.
Dude,
I'm excited.
we've come a long way. Come a
10.
long way.
Like I told you before, most people quit after 12.
Well, we got 2 more to find out, right?
Right? Most
Nah,
people
fuck
Stay
that.
tuned.
We ain't
And the
Make sure you
reason
hit
why-
that bell notification.
quitters, dude.
Exactly, bro.
10
Hit
is
that
one
shit.
more than 9.
So this is a special episode, guys. Every 5 episodes, we're going to have a guest on, and this is our second guest ever on the show, and this is my good friend Henry from work. Henry,
Introduce
say
yourself,
hello.
brother.
How's it going, everybody? I'm Henry. I as he just said, I work with Coffee here. One of my closest friends at work. Just started there a few months ago. How long ago?
September.
So longer than a few months ago. My bad. And the first day I saw him back in one of our areas where we work, I just knew I like this dude, and I'm glad to be here.
Billy's a solid
I'm really
dude.
glad
Thank
to be
you
here.
for coming, man.
Yeah.
Have
Have you ever done a podcast before?
No, I've never even. The only podcast besides the few episodes I've seen on this one is Joe Rogan. I liked watching Joe Rogan with Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Oh, yeah.
My guy.
He's got his own podcast, like Star Talk or something. Yeah.
I should look into that.
Yeah,
He does have his own one now, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he just, whatever he has got to say typically has my ear. It interests me. A little bit about me. I served in the U.S. military, the branch of the Marine Corps. Before that and that as well, I was doing blue collar work, and I did a complete 180, and now I'm doing law enforcement. I like alcohol. It's one of my hobbies.
Yeah.
I like buying and trying different things.
Cheers.
Yep, right, sure. Let's do that.
Cheers.
We got some buzz balls. I brought them. I brought 4 buzz balls for everyone here. They're like little grenades. I make the joke. Frag out, There you go.
I made old fashions for the boys.
And they were fantastic. I already had one,
thank
and
you.
I've had numerous of old fashions at different places, and I can.
That's what she said.
And like I said earlier, if you made a shitty old fashioned, I'd tell you, but they were very good. They're very very
Thanks.
good.
No bartender by any means. No bartender.
Well, maybe you should be. Saturday, like a little side gig.
Yep. You just
So
know
it
a
was
good taste and drink.
Yep. So, thanks, Henry, for the introduction there. And thank you for your service as well.
Oh, dude, you don't have to thank me, man. Thank you for your support, though.
Yeah,
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
So, guys, the setup's a little different. Kind of did a little reorganizing here. Hope you guys enjoy it. Those of you that watch the video aspect of this, a little comfier here now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think it
A little
looks better.
comfier here, yeah.
Like the one, I feel like the first podcast that really looks cool, like with the couch, was Full Send podcast. Like they have the guests, and one guest will be on the corner of the couch, and they all just sit from each other.
Yeah, the table thing is kind of outdated, I think.
Yeah,
at this
right.
point.
Well, see, like only guys that can really still get with that is like guys like Joe Rogan, and other people that just have a huge platform.
or like Fresh and Fit.
He also has multiple camera angles.
You know, Dr.
See,
Jordan,
multicam fucking matters, dude.
Dr.
Yeah.
Jordan B.
That
Peterson's
matters.
show,
Yeah.
where they're in armchairs, and they're sitting across from each other, kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
Yeah, that's a
right.
popular.
I do
Popular
enjoy
setup,
that
too.
concept as well.
Right.
So, guys, we're going to be experimenting with different setups here.
Right.
You can let us know in the comments what seems to be more.
More ideal, what you guys prefer, what's nice in the eyes.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Right. I mean, aesthetics matter, dude.
Now, the whole point of the
Mhm.
podcast is for the audio, but as far as the video aspect, we're just a bunch of dudes here just shooting the shit, right?
Right.
Yeah, you guys go check
Right.
us
So
out
if
on
you don't,
Spotify.
I was about to say, if you
you
don't
guys
care
like
about
YouTube,
video,
well, stay here
go to
and chill
Spotify.
with us.
Yeah, right on.
Right.
You can find us on Facebook, which I moderate that page, YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, and TikTok.
Yeah.
Those of you that still have TikTok.
Oh,
So-
well, it came back though. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you deleted the app, you can't get it back. So.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Oh, I
can't
didn't know
download it
that.
again.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
if you deleted the app when it was banned, you can't get it back. It's not even in the fucking app store.
What?
Yeah.
I thought Trump extended that ban
No, I mean, dude, it lasted like a day, and then I was able to go back on it.
Dude, it wasn't even
Yeah.
a full day. I remember waking up from a drunken stupor that morning and trying to fucking get on TikTok and just like lose some brain cells. You know how it is.
Yeah, doom scrolling.
And I can't remember what the text prompt was, but it says it is temporarily unavailable. Blah blah blah. And like I wanted, I ate, I took a shower, brushed my teeth. You know, morning routine.
Right, exactly.
And then by the time I was done with that, I was on TikTok.
Yeah,
again.
it was
I
fine.
like,
That was
oh,
really
okay.
short-lived.
It was like a day. It wasn't
Everyone
really
was
that
freaking
long.
out on Facebook and posting.
People like,
Yeah,
oh, I'm
dude.
depressed. Like, bro, like, what are you fucking relying on TikTok to like live?
Yeah, all that quick dopamine action.
It's ridiculous. Bro.
I just use it to kill time, honestly. And what I do watch on TikTok is typically more of your informative things or things I'm interested in. So
And fun fact, I mean, I don't know if it's a fact, but this is what I heard repeatedly is over in China where the app originated.
right.
It's
communists.
mainly used for educational and
Yes.
informative
Right, yeah,
purposes.
So
Yes,
so yeah, so
that is
YouTube is
true.
YouTube is banned in China, so they go on TikTok all day long.
Okay.
The young generation,
And-
they just that's all they do.
So
And
it's
the government moderates it.
Yeah, right.
To where if you were under a certain age, I want to say it's 18, it's all educational and informational. Like you will
Yeah,
not
yeah.
find anything else on there. So, and then anything above that, like they're going to moderate out your, lack of a better word, your like TikTok whores. They're not on there.
Oh, yeah,
They're not. You're not going to have your brain cell killers on there.
yeah, it's just fucking brain rot
Um,
over here in the States.
Right,
Yeah.
and
TikTok,
that's
They-
where I
yeah,
too
often
much.
say China is like playing the long term game. Like
Yeah,
they're
right.
they're not going to kill their civilians' brain cells with all this shit we see on TikTok.
No.
Everything on there is typically safe for work.
They'll just put them all back in Tiananmen Square, right?
Sure.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
Damn, dude.
Those of you that know history,
Right.
communist China.
Hamburger Hill.
So if my
So
father-in-law,
That's
random.
Vietnam, dork.
So random.
if my father-in-law is
That was a
watching,
good movie, though,
I have no
I
problem
think.
with the Chinese. I just don't like communism.
China.
Yeah.
China.
I think the left would say otherwise here.
Yeah, I don't think. No, absolutely not. None of us have issues racially with anybody. Just want to clarify
right.
Oh, of course.
that.
I just
The ideals of communism is not acceptable.
And you know, if you really
us.
exactly, I full well agree with that. And if you think about it, China is not as communist as it used to be. And same. With
Oh, sure, yeah.
And
Right,
and
right.
I mean,
Russia,
back during the Korean War, I mean that was full on.
yeah.
I mean, the Chinese sent thousands upon thousands to slaughter.
Right. Many people died.
And a lot of people don't realize that we were at war not with just North Korea, but China.
China
Yeah.
was funding the North Koreans.
Yeah.
And they're so if we're going to talk about the Korean War a little bit, I could speak very fondly and very informatively of the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
And what's the best way to explain this? I can speak from the Marine Corps perspective because part of going through boot camp and most of boot camp was learning about Marine Corps history. You had to understand who was here in your shoes before you are in the shoes you are in now.
Sure.
And so we, so I guess I'll start with this. My job in boot camp, I had a billet, which is, your Marine Corps term for job, was the prac recruit, where I would learn Marine Corps knowledge and then spit it off to other recruits, and they would repeat it back.
Oh.
Right, I was the prac recruit.
Okay.
And then the prac hat which was a drill instructor, Sergeant Campbell, great guy. Definitely modeled myself after him, especially in my Marine Corps career. He would take me aside and be like, all right, well, this is what we're going to learn this week. I would spend my hour of senior drill instructor square away time at the end of each day in boot camp. You had an hour to get your shit together for the next day, or maybe spend 10 minutes and work on a letter back home. And I would learn the next day's topic. And for the Korean War, like we heard about the Frozen Chosen, and to where like the famous term, I'm terrible at names, but the famous phrase from Frozen Chosen is, "We are not retreating, we're just advancing in a different direction." And these guys went through hell and back, but it was a frozen, barren wasteland in the mountains. Like, it gets cold here in Chicagoland area, right? Well, we'll see our days where it's -9. Last year we had like, or maybe even the year before, we had like -30 with wind chill.
I remember
Yeah.
the polar vortex back in 2019.
Dude,
That's
yeah,
what it was.
that was nuts.
That's what it was.
I
That
was
was
at-
like -25.
I was at the academy.
That's what it was. Yeah.
I was at the academy, and I was in Springfield, and we went to the state police shooting range just outside of Springfield.
Shit.
It got to be -60 degrees with the wind chill.
That's insane.
I can't make that fucking shit up. And we were outside fucking shooting.
So
It was terrible.
So fun fact for all the fans out there, and all the listeners, the most coldest part in the world is Yakutsk in Russia. It gets to negative like 60, -50
Is that in Fahrenheit or Celsius?
Fahrenheit.
Well,
Well,
Fahrenheit.
you got to specify. 'cause
Yeah, yeah,
it's-
no, for sure,
It's
no.
Europe.
No, no. That's what I'm just want to express. In Fahrenheit, dude, it gets fucking cold. Yakutsk in Russia.
I mean,
correct me if
fun
I'm
fact.
wrong.
Is that with wind chill?
No,
or is that just
without-
standard,
no,
like,
no,
holy
standard.
shit?
Yeah, standard. Yes.
That's
Well,
fucking cold.
correct me
It's
if I'm
fuck-
wrong.
I was watching a video the other
wait,
day about
sure.
this. That's why. No, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
My bad. Correct me if I'm wrong, but during that polar vortex, wasn't it colder in the Chicagoland area than the surface of the moon at one point?
Jeez.
I don't.
I remember
Bro,
reading
it was
that
like
somewhere.
colder than Antarctica.
Yeah.
I
Well,
remember.
It gets really, really windy here.
I
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
that it was
nasty.
the
And
coldest
then-
place on Earth during that time. Yes.
That's and we live here. That's crazy,
Yeah.
dude.
People
we raise our
bit-
families here.
People were closed. Hey, people were like, "Yo, we're closed." I'm sorry, we're closed. I
I'll tell you what
remember,
though, I would rather live where the air hurts my fucking face than live where things are creepy crawly and critters all fucking year round.
that was Japan.
dude. Amazon rainforest. or
Dude.
Oh
fucking-
my god, what happened in Japan?
Quick story.
Oh, it's Japan.
We were
yeah.
doing land navigation when I was doing corporal's course, which is something you need to do to pick up sergeant. It's a prerequisite to get the next rank. And I was running so I could be done sooner with my little crew, so to say. I had like 3 other guys with me. There was the 4 of us. And Japan, Okinawa, Japan specifically, side bit, a lot of Okinawans don't like to be called Japanese because Okinawa
wow.
stayed as part of Japan after World War II. Prior to World
didn't
War
know
II, Okinawa was not a part of Japan.
What?
So
but
a
it was
lot-
considered Japanese territory, like home soil.
No, because it's not mainland Japan, Okinawa.
Right,
It's
I
an
know
island.
it's a separate island.
Right.
But during World War II, wasn't it considered like home soil?
Sure, but before then, I don't know how many years, but before then, it was not a part of Japan. Like not a part of the Japanese.
So was that
government.
part of like the Japanese like imperialism, trying to expand their empire
during their
like,
time,
like they
the-
were
in
trying to
the
do with
mid
China?
to late 30s, right? So a lot of
Which-
your locals in Okinawa that are older do not like being called Japanese. They want you to refer to them as Okinawans.
Wait,
Sure.
real quick. So, is there a city or like a island where everyone's like 100 years old, right? And plus,
So Okinawa has the highest life expectancy on the planet.
man.
The air is so
No
clean
kidding.
there. The food is so clean there. I mean, dude, I've been to many parts of the world, and Okinawa is by far the most. It's probably the closest to God you can get. It's the most beautiful place on the planet.
At one point in 1945, it was hell on
sure.
earth.
Yeah, I mean, besides that,
Yeah.
we've all seen the Pacific, right? Which is like your Band of
The
Brothers.
Band of Brothers
version
for the Pacific Theater.
for
yeah,
the Pacific
yeah.
Theater.
Like
Right.
1945, man.
Oh,
It's
show, by the
2020.
way.
It's 2025,
Great
man.
show.
80 years ago.
Great
man.
show.
World War II.
The
Crazy to think about too.
The movie
Right.
screens often want to side with the Army, and there's not a lot of good Marine Corps movies out there besides like Jarhead or Full Metal Jacket. And
Recently, I feel
someone-
like there hasn't been recently, man. Any
No,
good, like,
not in a
movies.
while.
2000s, 90s had great. Marine,
Full Metal Jacket was
military
before.
movies.
I don't quote me, but I want to say that movie was made in like the 80s.
Yeah, it was a
Schindler's
while
List.
ago.
Schindler's List.
Schindler's List.
1993,
Yes.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, Liam Neeson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that
Played
actor, by
Schind-
the way.
oh, yeah.
Love that guy.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Qui-Gon Jinn, dude. But back to what I was saying. I was doing land nav the one time. You talking about the creepy. You were talking about.
Yeah,
you'd
he
rather
was, yeah.
the air hurting your face rather than creepy
Creepy
crawlies
crawlies.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Dude, I was doing land nav in Okinawa, Japan, in the fucking jungle, and because it's a jungle tropical island, and I'm running to each target point, and I'm looking at my map, and I'm using Terrain Association, which is by far your best tool for land navigation. You can look at a map, and then you can
Man,
see
people are learning-
contour lines.
I just want to say real quick, people that are watching this right now, dude, they're learning from you tonight, dude. They're gonna learn
Thank you.
some shit, dude.
Thank
Shit,
you.
I'm learning shit right
yeah.
now, man.
This is
And-
captivating.
So,
And
That's
those
awesome.
that have
All of you
served,
guys.
they're going to be able to relate with this.
and if you have served in the
I'm
Marine
clipping-
Corps,
I'm
or even
clipping
the
this.
in the United States military, just irrad, brother. I miss you guys. I don't see enough of you guys day to day. It's been I got out in 2021, so it's been 4 years. I was in for 4 years, so it's been as long. I've been out as long as I was in, and I still miss it every day.
Damn.
What did you do in there, if you don't mind me asking?
Sure,
Like, infantry or-
sure. Well, I was very close with the infantry. I'll
Mhm.
tell you that.
Yeah.
So I was part of 3rd Amphibious Assault Battalion, which was stationed out of California, Del Mar, Area 21 of Camp Pendleton, and the 3rd Amphibious Assault Battalion, their bread and butter was what's called AAVs, Amphibious Assault Vehicles.
Mhm.
And our job was to take these vehicles and we'd be on a U.S. Navy vessel, typically an LPD. I was on the USS Green Bay LPD 20. That was a class of the ship. And we would be 2,000 meters, which is roughly over a mile. 1,700 meters is about a mile. And then we would splash in the ocean with these vehicles. Think about a water tank. All right. So we'd be a little mile offshore. We'd splash these vehicles, and then we'd go assault whatever beach. And infantry would be in our back. We were like water taxis for the infantry.
Oh, damn.
You're
with guns and cannons.
Yeah, but you don't fire
Be
that.
advised, your teammate got their ass kicked.
Advise your teammate. That wasn't a voice line from Modern Warfare 2. That's
the
funny
hell?
as fuck.
I can't remember.
Oh man, dude, the internet's.
You guys are fucking shit up, man.
But
Oh,
that's
man.
what we did in my job. I remember the first day showing up to. So I went to the schoolhouse, and it's about 3-4 months long, where they teach you how to be a mechanic. Really, they familiarize you with the vehicle, and then when you go to a line company, then you learn how to be a mechanic.
Okay.
And so I go to H&S Company, headquarters and support. Really nothing special there. And then every day, I had a Staff Sergeant Young. Every day I would go into his office and I'd be like, hey, so when can I go on to meet? We're a line company. To the point where anytime I entered his office, I would do it so often, anytime I entered his office, he'd go, Jancic, if you're going to ask me about going to a fucking line company, you walk your ass right out that door. Staff Sergeant, just fucking leave. And then right before, I love that thing. Right before Christmas of 2018, Staff Sergeant Young calls me in the office and he was like, well, I have great news for you and even better news for me. And I was like, what's going on, Staff Sergeant? He goes, you're going to a fucking line company. Because he got so tired of hearing about it.
Now fuck off.
Yeah, dude. So he sent me away to Alpha Company. I grabbed my shit. I go to Alpha. Alpha Company, best company. Alpha males, right? And I was attached to 1st Platoon. And my maintenance chief was like, oh, you're Jancic, my new guy, huh? And I go, yes, Corporal. And he goes, well, welcome to 3rd Tracks, Alpha Company, where the maintenance never stops. And he like points at one of the vehicles, and he was like, you know what your job is? And I go, to fix the vehicles. And he goes, no, your job is to stop that vehicle over there from getting other Marines killed. And I was like, oh shit, because these things,
When you put it that way, yeah.
if they break down in the water, they're
Yeah.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Very dangerous. They will start taking on water. Like,
Yeah.
I remember the one time I was off the coast of Australia, and we were just doing a dog and pony show. And we were splashing onto a private beach kind of by Brisbane, Australia, which I believe is Queensland. My geography of Australia is not too good.
Yeah.
And my vehicle's generator belt snapped, and that's how the batteries are charged. You know, the flywheel in the back of the
Oh, shit.
engine
Yeah.
goes to the generator, and then the generator generates power and
Okay.
charges the batteries.
Yeah.
And it fucking snapped. I put another one on. Long story short, I just put another one on, and then I'm watching it, and then I'm seeing this vehicle like burn through the fucking generator belt. The generator was getting so hot. And then after that, I was like, just gun it to the fucking beach. And you can find this online. There's a top view of this 2019 Talisman Sabre. And then you just see one vehicle just like break formation and gunning it to the fucking beach, so we didn't.
2019.
Talisman Saber. Now that video is a hard video to find. I've been in like APOD, trying to show like a partner of ours like the video, and it would take me a bit to find it. It's a hard video to find, but it's out there. Yeah,
Fucking
very
strange,
dangerous. But that was my first day at Third Tracks, first platoon.
Bit of a reality check.
Yeah, dude, I was 19 years old. Like,
Barely a man.
Damn, dude, you fucking
right. And
a lot in a short amount of time. Man.
in I don't know. It's just, even in the moment, I was too young to understand what was going on. I really was. I didn't think about anything. I just kind of was like, well, I got to do something. Kind of like when we were mounting your TV there. I was like, no, I got to do something. I remember thinking that.
I gotta get it done.
Like, it can't be 1 degree off, because that's what it was.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, literally.
That was annoying.
Dude, 1 degree, it was so noticeable. I'm like, dude, I play video games. I watch my TV. That would piss me off.
Yeah,
So
same.
before the show happened, we were mounting our boy's TV right here, right behind the camera, so you guys can't see it.
Yeah. But now it's good. So that
Did a good job.
I thank you. I was
you.
I was sweating, dude. It's always. I don't like drilling in other people's walls because it's not mine. Mine I can fuck up all I want, but other people's, I'm like, shit, dude, this got to be perfect. Measure twice, cut once.
Measure twice, cut once.
So, thank you for asking, by the way. I love talking about that kind of stuff.
That's
why you're here, bro.
I like learning about that kind of stuff
Yeah.
too.
But so to just finish off, because we went down a massive rabbit hole there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
When I was
broadcast is
doing
all about.
land navigation in Okinawa, Japan,
Yeah.
I was running and I was using the map as terrain association. I didn't have my compass out. I kind of knew the direction I was going, and I could see the contour lines and like the hills around. So I didn't need to be precise. I knew where I was going. And I look up and I just see the biggest fucking spider web, and I run right into it. Dude.
Oh, fuck off.
And
Fuck off.
Japan has this thing called Okinawa.
Oh man, the stream deck's fucked up.
Does that mean our audio is?
No, audio's good.
Okay. But Okinawa has these things called banana spiders. And
Oh, they come in the boxes, right? I thought they come from like Brazil.
No, dude, not that banana spiders. Look up Okinawa. Any of you viewers
I'll do it
wanna
right now.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
They look worse than that. They are like from the seventh ring of hell. They're like
The devil spawn.
And I remember
itself.
like just wiping myself off everywhere, and then feeling like, fucking,
Oh God, Okinawa banana spider. Let's.
dude, they're
Fuck you.
They're
Fuck
disgusting.
you.
They get
Oh, you fucking kidding
and they
me.
get big, dude.
Look at that fucking thing.
Gosh damn.
Dude, they get fucking big.
Look at the legs on that. That's a big son of a bitch.
Dude.
I recommend you guys look that up right now.
I can't
Slay the
I can't
Xenos.
I can't remember, dude. Exactly, they're like Tyranids from fucking Warhammer, dude. They're so
Literally,
gross
that's how
looking.
they look.
Like I would rather run into a full-sized frostbite spider from Skyrim than that fucking thing again, dude.
Speaking of Warhammer, I'm actually going to get into the tabletop now. A couple of guys from work are doing it, and they invited me into it. So I'm going to be looking into doing it.
Like, is it like D&D?
I mean, that's kind of how I saw it. But so for those of you viewers that are
Fuck is
looking
a
for like
D&D?
a new hobby,
Dungeons and
Dragons.
Dragons.
Oh,
It's cool.
Those of you that are looking
It's-
for like
it's fucking
a new
cool.
hobby, if you're looking to the Warhammer 40,000 as a brand, it started off as a tabletop game, and you basically get your team, your chapter, if you will. Like if you go with the Adeptus Astartes, which is the space Marines, they're basically like the space monks of the Imperium for
They're
the
badass.
for the Emperor. There's different chapters.
bro, this lore can go on forever.
It sure,
Yeah,
it
dude,
sure
there's a
could.
lot of it.
But long story short, you pick who you want to be. You get the kit. You set it up yourself. You put it together yourself, and then you paint the figures. And it's all based off of points and dice moves. So
So you're gonna get the game then?
yeah, I'm gonna look
Tabletop
into
game,
it.
play it here.
I think that'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
my first thought is seeing if
Something
it could be a fucking drinking game.
That's my first time.
We can make it one.
I'm sure we can make it one. Yeah.
Probably
guys-
so many rules on that anyway.
Quite a few episodes back, we talked about finding a hobby, and whatever you do, it's for your identity. I'm being a big fucking nerd, and I'm gonna look into doing Warhammer.
There's nothing wrong with being a nerd.
No, not at all.
Nerds are
Not at all.
nerds are like some of the coolest people I've ever fucking met.
I think I'm pretty cool
Because they're
but-
real. They're just themselves, dog. They don't.
Maybe.
fake-
Yeah, right.
they don't
Fuck
fake-
you.
They are.
Um,
Yeah.
now, if I may comment on the hobby,
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer that hobbies are one of the best things you can do for your mental health.
Yeah, right.
If you're not living for something like
Clip that.
so for me personally, how I look at it is I go to work every day, right? I don't like what I do, but I do it, and it puts food on the table for my family. My wife doesn't work; she takes care of our son, and
That's the American dream.
right. And it's great. I love having her at home. I don't have to pay for childcare, which is very expensive in the United States for anybody who doesn't live in the United States. And we live in Illinois,
Tell me
and
about
even
that.
more so in Illinois, it's just very expensive. So
Thanks, Dems.
right. And that's not even a jab at anybody. It's just, dude, if you look into it, it's factual. The Democrats cost us so much fucking money. And I used to like Democrats. I used to be Democrat. Like, if I was alive a few decades ago, I would have voted for JFK with a heartbeat, dude. Like, but anyways,
First ever Irish Catholic president. Open about it, too.
yeah, and
Right.
interestingly enough, a lot of people didn't vote for him because part of being Catholic is understanding that you need to follow the Pope. And a lot of people were worried about, well, if he's Catholic, then the Pope's really gonna run our country. But no,
Nah.
that wasn't the case.
There's a separation between church and state
Church
for
and
a
state,
reason.
we've done that for years now.
And
decades.
on speaking of JFK, Trump is putting in an executive order to declassify the JFK assassination files.
He already did that. He did that on his second day.
Man, fuck
Right,
yeah.
but are they all declassified now? Are they all out there?
No, actually, because Google is such a cesspool, it focuses on keywords to put you to where you're trying to look at. So when I heard that he did that, I searched it up, like JFK files declassified, and every article and everything that I got was just news outlets saying that he declassified those files. So
Cool.
if
There's
for-
a statute of limitations on how long it takes for files to get.
Well, they were supposed to
declassified
release the
too.
files in the early 2000s. They were supposed to. It was only supposed to be silenced for, I think, like 35 years. It was supposed to stay classified. And then it was supposed to be declassified, and it just never was. And that's one of the reasons why Trump actually declassified them, because he was like, it's a long time coming. I think that's the word-for-word verbiage he used when he
Sure.
was talking about it. It's a long time coming. It should have been done. I'm going to come.
Well, us as the American people, we would like to know the facts of one of our former presidents.
Dude, you
being
don't even
assassinated.
want to get me going on the
On
JFK
politics? Oh,
assassination.
man.
There was totally a second shooter,
that's-
and he was in the grassy
That's
knoll.
going to be a whole, like, I could do
There's
that.
no
That's a
way
whole-
one
That's a whole
bullet-
clip of an episode right there.
Dude,
Clip that for a
that's-
good 20 minutes.
That's
Episode 11, conspiracies. We'll find
Well,
out.
people love.
We'll find out.
We probably should.
If you're gonna do that on episode 11, you got to put me on.
Yeah, if you really got something to say, yeah, we gotta bring it back on.
The
for
three of you don't know, and I know I'm the
Definitely.
closest with you, but even you don't know. One of the things I've often said is, I wish I just had a microphone to speak to the world for just an hour. Like, I know that's a really
that. No, not that's.
like douchey thing to say, but I have a lot to say.
Yeah,
you
no, I
know?
mean-
Share your wisdom, your
Yeah,
insights,
why
things
not?
you've learned, been through.
And
Or even like you, if you have your
man.
own perspective that
and
people,
that's the other thing.
you know,
The older I get, I realize the more I don't know. The older I
Damn,
get, the
that's a
more I
good-
realize
ooh,
I don't
didn't-
know.
I wasn't expecting
Huh.
to hear that.
Like
Yeah.
when my
That's
kid
good
was
sight.
born.
Damn.
Clip that too.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
When my kid was born, there was like just crazy shit that I didn't even think about I had to do for him that I do for myself. Like the one day I go over to check on him, he's fresh out the womb, and I was very adamant about one of us being awake. Like none of us, the three of us aren't going to be sleeping. One of us is going to be awake while he's sleeping.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
And I go over to check on him, and he's got like a scratch on his face. And I was like, and I wake up my wife, and I was like, how the fuck did that get there? Like, what's going on? And then she goes, oh, we have to trim his nails.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, because babies' nails are so sharp
They're
and their
like
skin is
razor
so
sharp. Dude,
soft.
There's
I got little
nothing-
baby scratches on my bicep right here, dude.
There's
Yeah.
nothing like baby
Yeah.
strength. There's nothing like baby strength.
He is
man.
strong. He is strong.
So to go along with what you were saying,
Yeah.
Henry, there's a saying I have that kind of goes along with what you just said. So, and it's knowledge comes with experience, but experience does not come with knowledge. You have to go through something
Yeah,
first
like that.
before
Yeah,
you get the knowledge,
I like that.
right?
I'm gonna
Before
use
you
that.
have the
That's genius.
absolutely. And I've been
that's-
saying that for many years now.
That's very true. It's kind of like when I was younger, my dad would always tell me that you can't just think about what you're saying. You have to also think about how it comes across.
Right.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand that for
Your
fucking
delivery
years, dude.
Tonality.
Is just as important as the actual information itself.
So, but I had experience pissing a lot of people off to understand it.
And I like,
You know what I'm
to
saying?
say,
Yeah.
to say this.
Yeah.
You can say the right thing at the right time and the right thing at the wrong time.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah. I mean,
Absolutely.
If
Right.
you're gonna say the right thing at the wrong time, like for instance, like if you know your boy's fucking up and he's not trying to hear how he's fucking up,
Exactly. Right.
even though you might be
Right.
all the right you could be,
Right.
you could be on the mountain of right,
Right,
like
exactly.
on the very top,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
and he
Absolutely
won't
balls.
hear
Right,
you.
He's not ready.
He won't hear you.
Right. He
yeah.
won't hear you.
Yeah.
And that's what. That's so true. All the time,
the
man.
mountain of right, just way up there on the tippy top.
Right, because then he might be like, "Oh, well, who you think you are? You think you know it all? Like, you know this and that." And like that's the thing. People are gonna do what they're gonna do.
But then
and
they
when
go
they're ready to
through
listen,
it, and then they look at you, and they go, "Man, I should have listened to you."
right? Because
I've
when
No
been
it-
there.
shit,
I've
asshole.
Right,
I've
because,
been there.
because when it resonates, that's the strongest feeling. Like for someone to remember.
I'm
They
fucking
got
living
the-
through that
so-
right now, man. There's somebody in my life right now
Yeah.
that I spent many, 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 many hours and days of my life into telling this man, this young man,
Yes.
hey, you better fix what's going on right now. You
Right.
better not do. You better not go down this path.
Yep. And I remember we
All right.
talked about this. Yeah.
And if you go down
Yeah.
this path, you'll be looking into a reflection, and it's going to look a lot like me.
Right.
Don't do it. I'm not saying I fucked up, but there's things in my life I wish I could have done differently and better.
Yeah.
As I'm sure most men do. I don't have any regrets. I just
It's just-
I just want to have my life be an example to this young man,
And it's just such a
and
big
so
letdown.
he can learn
you know,
from.
When they,
Yeah,
when they
it's a
don't do it.
huge disappointment,
huge disappointment. Right.
and it honestly boils my fucking blood. It pisses me off.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
I will digress
Yeah,
on
right.
on that. But guys, the moral of this is have brothers, and they are brothers for a reason. Listen to what they're saying. You might not want to fucking hear it
Right,
because
right.
you don't want to hear that you're fucking up. Nobody wants to hear that they're doing wrong,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But you have to take that in for what it's worth from the company you keep.
Right.
The company you keep is just as important as the company you keep up in your own head.
I feel like there's a lot of people like what Billy did. Like and I feel like we've all done it where we gave someone advice. We
Hydrate.
see where the fuck it was gonna take them, and we saw their future, and they fucking didn't listen to us, and they fucking made a big mistake. Anyway, we've all done that, and
Yeah.
you just look back and you're just like, you know what? Hopefully, years down the road, that person that you try to get advice to, he'll tell you, "Damn, I wish I listened to you." And now I went through it, and now it resonates now that I went through it, you know. And all you can do is just try to help people out, but you can't fucking force them. Though you can't put it. You can't
Absolutely.
force them. You know.
All you can do is be there when the pieces all fall apart and help you put it back together.
Would I
You ever
typically-
break a fucking? You ever break like glass and you try putting it back together? You might be able to put all the pieces back together,
Yeah.
but you can still see the cracks, right?
the
Right.
microwave.
The damage is
exactly.
there
Yes.
forever.
Yeah.
It's like that microwave at work the other
Yeah.
day.
What are you talking about?
Did you tell them about that?
No,
he
I did
didn't.
not.
No, he didn't.
Long story short, a microwave died at our work and someone killed it.
What I do to it?
He couldn't figure out how to open it, and his movie theater butter popcorn was in there, and he just punched the shit out of it. And
Ah.
and I was in the break room at the time calling my wife, and I just go back there, and I'm like, "Yo, dude, what's with all this glass on
Bro,
the
he's
floor?"
probably fucking injured.
What, he just fucked
yeah,
right
no,
through
no,
it?
dude. He,
There goes workman's comp. the microwave broke my hand.
Attack me.
Oh man. Oh, that was wild, but yeah,
Another light duty.
the glass was shattered.
So what I was gonna say about what you guys were talking about. So making a mistake is not always the worst thing possible,
It's
because
one of the best things you could ever do in your
Yeah,
life.
I was gonna say something like that. Yeah.
and we've
But the pain that comes with it,
We all-
depending on the severity, is defining.
Yeah. Right. That's a good. one. I
it's
like
force and fire type
like
of
that.
type of scenario. It's like the shit you go through makes you who you are, and
Absolutely.
and there's something very real about that. So what I was gonna say is, we were talking about like giving our friends advice, like, hey man, you can't be doing this, and they don't like hearing that. What I want to portray is a friend that's worth keeping around is going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
Yes, dude.
If you've been a follower of
absolutely.
this podcast,
Absolutely.
you know that is 100% facts.
100%.
That is something
And-
that we preach. every
And
day.
and to further that is when you hear what you need to hear. Let's put ourselves in those shoes, right?
Right.
To where you're the person who's like, all right, this dude tell me something that I need to hear, not what I want to hear, right? Don't get too cocky. Don't get like
Offensive.
defensive,
Emotional.
actually, or emotional,
Oh,
defensive,
defensive,
or
defensive,
yeah,
defensive, yeah.
defensive. Dude, that dude is telling you something. Like, take yourself out of your body, bro. Everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah. Right.
Everybody. Nobody is perfect. All right. I make mistakes all the fucking time, all the time. And if someone's gonna tell me how to fix them, or like, hey, bro, like maybe you should stop doing this, I've gotten really good at just listening. And not
Yeah,
and
right.
here there's a very important part about listening that most people I shouldn't say most people, but this is how I like to describe listening. There is listening to understand, and then there's listening to respond.
Ooh. Yeah.
Aha.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to be the
Wow.
listener that understands,
Yeah.
not like, okay, I'm going to listen to what you're saying to rebuttal. I'm going to I'm going to
Take
be
some time
I'm
to
gonna be
think of a response. Like when me and you are having common conversations, I might take a minute to say something back. That's because I'm taking in what you're telling me and I'm processing it, and then I'm going, okay, this is what I have to say.
Right.
about
Then you
that.
got the other people that are just waiting for you to finish so they can just give their opinion because they don't care what you got to hear.
Oh, you're
It's going one ear
done
out the
talking.
other.
Cool. Okay, so this is what I got.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Oh,
Right.
the people
Hate
that listen to respond are
Active listen.
almost always the people that interrupt,
Yes. Right.
because
Right.
they're not listening to what you're
The
saying.
smartest person in the room talks the least.
Teddy Roosevelt,
Right.
speak
like
softly, carry a big stick.
You know.
Oh,
Like,
Teddy,
they,
man,
They
the-
sit there. They actively
What a
listen.
guy.
You don't speak a lot, but when you do, it means something.
Yeah. Right. You make it count.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Right.
Him and the Rough Riders.
Like honestly, that's what I say.
Yeah,
the dumbest person in the
he's
room
a
is the one that
fucking
talks
badass,
the
dude.
What a
most.
guy.
Yeah, dude, what a fucking guy.
The loudest person in the room is an idiot. He's the dumbest person in the room.
The smartest man in the room will make sure, like, let's say at a party, I don't want to, like, the life of the party, right? A lot of people want to be that. The guy that's like, hey, bro, like,
Right.
you're
Because
cool, dude.
people want to feel accepted. They want to feel welcome. They
Exactly.
want to feel like they're
the
they're
guy
validated. You know.
I understand. Yeah, exactly. But the guy you want to be is to make sure the life of the party gets home safely. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Right.
not about being the life of the party. It's about
It's kind of like a
keeping a level head.
bit of a stoic mindset, I
Sure.
suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like longevity, because these people that we knew like the jocks and the popular kids, they were popular for a couple years. Where are they now, bro? We got 70 more years
Dude,
to live. What are you
I got-
doing now?
I got a friend
They're
of mine.
fat, they're overweight, they're losers, they're drunk,
Right.
all this shit. You know, they're doing all this dumb shit.
I got a friend of
They're
mine,
crooks.
or that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
And
dude.
we all
Billy
know a
couldn't wait to
handful.
say that one.
We all know a handful.
Yeah, we all know the guys that have been to jail that we went to high school with, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Um,
yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Exactly.
But I got a friend who
I know you're thinking about.
who is very capable of succeeding, but he genuinely peaked in high school. And he works a schmo job, so lives with his parents.
You ever tell him that he peaked?
No, actually, no, I
No,
don't.
he might need to hear
because he does.
Well, don't you think he knows it?
He
that.
does.
He probably does.
He does know
He's
it.
self-aware.
He
Yeah.
does
Knowing
know
it, it's one thing to know it, but it's one thing to accept it.
And you know, that's the reason
exactly.
why I haven't like been like, hey, bro, like, you know, I can get you this job, I can help you out here, and I haven't done that to him because
You feel like you know
he knows
you know
where
you can
he's
get.
at.
Right, right.
I know he knows where he's at,
Right.
and only me saying what he needs to hear, it's something he already knows. And
It's like being a dead horse, honestly, man.
exactly, he knows it. He
Yeah.
knows the situation he got himself into, and saying something about it won't help. Just make him angry.
Yeah, we know someone like
And
that personally. Actually,
I say it to my wife all the time. Above all else, I want Above all else, I want no problems. And the last thing I need is problems with one of my closest friends.
Yeah.
So,
So,
100%.
what do you think the best way of approaching a situation like that is?
well, taking no approach actually, because he's a grown ass man. I'm a grown ass man. I'm not gonna expect him to do anything for me, and he's not gonna expect me to do anything for him. Like to come and
Choices
save
were
him.
made.
Like he's a grown ass man at this point.
Yeah, right.
If he wants to change, he'll change on his own, and that takes some discipline. And most people don't have discipline nowadays.
No.
That's when you do become a man, when you know you have changes to be made and you need the discipline for it. You just suck it the fuck up
Yeah.
and do it.
I would
Get it
say
done.
I agree
Right,
with that, but
exactly.
I would also say being a man is more than that.
Oh, absolutely.
Um,
Being a man comes in there's so many different definitions.
yeah.
And my definition is you become a man the moment you become responsible
Yep.
for others.
Exactly.
When
That's
when I became a father, I became responsible for not just myself, but the mother of my children at the time, of course, and my child till the day I die. My child's going to take care of me one day,
right.
but until that day comes, I'm responsible for them. And therefore, because of that, I'm a man. Why am I a man, though? Because I accept that role. There are guys out there, there are boys out there
Yeah.
that don't accept that role and call themselves a man. You're a
Yeah.
poser and you're a liar.
Yeah, I
All right, Billy. So you're a good man.
coffee.
That's up to you guys. I just consider myself just a regular dude.
You said my exact definition of what I would consider to be a man is being responsible for others.
Yeah, right.
I was thinking that before you said it. Before I thought being in the military, going on deployments, doing all this shit that most people don't do. Well, I'm a man now because I'm the first line of defense for my country. No, I was responsible for a few troops. Right, towards the end of my service, I was an NCO, non-commissioned officer, and I had troops under me. And technically speaking, I was responsible for them. But I'm responsible for another grown man. No, that dude can take care of himself, and if he can't, I'm going to be there to help him out.
You didn't create that responsibility.
I did not create that
It was
responsibility.
brought upon you.
He's my brother, but he's not my blood brother. If we shed blood together, then we're blood brothers. But
Damn.
I was fortunate enough not to see anything violent in my time.
And I've got blood brothers out there. Shout out to Jared. He was a guest on episode
That's-
5.
yeah, he
Love
was.
you, bro.
We can't
that's
wait. We want to have him back. Too.
that's my twin brother's name. It's Jared.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's right.
He works at the same place we do.
That's right. Yep.
Honestly, you should have had him on here. Not that I'm a bad guest or anything, but
We can have you both.
Sure.
Yeah, we got an extra mic.
Right. I've just always looked at him as a better man than I am. He's a great guy, wonderful guy.
And what is that called, guys? That's called being humble.
Right,
Not even that, dude. That's speaking facts. This guy has never intentionally hurt somebody because he was mad or upset, dude. I've punched some fucking people, dude, because I was pissed. Like,
Sure.
like he would never. He would be the.
I sure fucking have to.
He would be the bigger man and just be like, you're not worth my fucking time, right? Like he's a way better guy.
So
than I am.
so you guys both are fathers, and I like when Joe Rogan said on this podcast, he's like, being a father changes you, but not everybody, because there's some people, there's men out there that aren't men, they're losers, and being a father doesn't change them. But
Why are they losers?
Father
because-
Dodgers.
Because that's what I'm
Father
trying-
Dodgers.
Right.
Clip that.
Exactly.
Hey, that's 3 clips so far.
Right.
Holy shit.
Right. No, but I want to specify. I want to clarify it, because not every fucking guy that becomes a father changes him, because if it doesn't change you, you're really not a winner. You're not for your kid. You're not for yourself. It begins and ends with the man, dude.
You're not taking the
You know, if you
responsibility
don't-
that you created.
If you don't work on yourself first before you bring kids into his life, well, guess what? Those kids are gonna fall on their face before they can even speak, before they even comprehend anything, and you're just failing everything and yourself, everything around you.
Absolutely. You know what
know?
my dad said to me when my wife left and the separation happened, and
Right.
the divorce. My relationship with my father is something. It's not like most people's. Yeah, he's my father. I love him, you know. But
Right.
he wasn't. When I was growing up, most of my childhood, my teenage life, my young adult life, I resented him quite a bit because I felt he wasn't stepping up into the fatherhood role that he should have been.
Right.
Right?
To-
So
to your-
that
to your
taught me
standards,
a
right.
lot of lessons
Right.
about what not to do when I become a father. And
Yeah, right.
I'm trying my hardest to practice those
Right.
and to not do those things, right? But now that I'm older, I'm almost 30 now.
That's still pretty young.
Yeah, thankfully, right?
Right. I used to think that's old. That's still pretty young, bro.
My back hurts, so I'm getting there.
Mine does too.
But my dad, he when I got older, I started to realize why he was the way he was, because he took on the responsibility of creating a large family. I have 3 siblings. Okay,
Sure.
my mom, she either worked part time or she didn't work. Okay, my dad,
So that means he was
provided
a good
for us.
provider.
absolutely, but that means he was never home.
Ah,
And when he was home, he wasn't home. He was doing projects around the house, or
Yeah.
or he was checked out. He's trying to relax.
Can I
Right?
ask you
Right.
something real quick?
Please, yeah.
Would he involve you in those projects? Would he teach you that shit?
He would try to, and then if he didn't have the patience for it,
He needed
so
to get
he
it
w-
done.
he would lose it on me.
Yeah.
You know, so I would.
Yeah,
just,
dude, I've been there. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. And,
I feel like I'm going to do that with my kid here and there at least.
and trust me, you are, because I sure have too. But those aren't mistakes; those are lessons.
Right.
Get better for next time, right?
Right.
And
Even mom and dad gets it wrong sometimes.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Exactly.
yeah, absolutely. Name one parent that hasn't made a mistake. Is there a guidebook on being a parent?
The Big
Not that
Man
I'm aware of.
Upstairs. No,
There are books out there of how to be a better parent, but there's no guidebook.
Dude. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. No, I full on agree. Yeah.
So as I got older, I realized what my dad did, and I respect the hell out of him for it.
Right.
And I love and I adore him for it, because he sacrificed so much of his own personal life, of his own soul, to provide for my family.
Damn.
You know.
Yeah.
Bro,
And
you had a house.
It is
you
soul
had a-
damaging.
We had a house.
You had
we
room?
had a big family.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't have. We weren't luxurious by any means. I'd say we were
Say middle class, right?
middle. You
Middle
know,
class.
slightly below. You know, the average for middle class, but we were happy.
Yo, can I be
You know?
honest?
Right.
Yeah.
I grew up poor as shit after 2008 and that whole housing market crash.
Oh, when the recession hit.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before that, we had a house. I had a backyard. I played baseball. Dude, I remember the one Christmas and the only Christmas, one of the earliest Christmases I remember where there was damn near presents stacked to the ceiling. Right. My dad was a very good provider, but he was never home. And I have a
And
cousin.
that hurts.
Right. He was a lineman for ComEd, and he was a troubleman, so that means he was always on call, and he would get Sunday off, and that was it.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
6 days a week, he was working probably 16 hours, and then like my dad's got a big beer belly. One of the strongest men I've ever met in my entire life, by the way. But he's got a fucking belly the size of Wisconsin.
He's got that fucking strong man gut.
There was a time
Talking about
where
carnivore
he was skinny, and I don't remember it because he was just never home.
I remember when I had a good.
But then 2008 happened. We lost our house. My parents got divorced. I would go between living in like fucking Chicago by Midway Airport, and then the other half of the time I was in.
Yeah, Midway was Yeah, so for everyone, we live in like Chicagoland area. Midway is a rough neighborhood. There's a lot of robberies and
Yeah.
carjackings.
And I have
known
a
for the
personal story
carjackings,
about
yeah.
this. So my grandmother was at the hospital the one time because I was
Yeah.
living with my grandma, and you know, you got people at the hospital that she went to. I think she went to the. I can't remember. I was a kid, dude. I don't,
Right.
I don't know what the hospital name that was. I was a kid. But at the hospital, they're like, "Do you live alone?" Right. This is a questionnaire.
Damn.
And she was like, "Yeah, I live alone." Like, but because living with somebody is like a husband or is, an adult, right?
Right.
But she said she lived alone, and that person who took that information probably knew somebody, because while she was at the hospital, our house got broken into. But we had to, right, dude. Like we went through the entire year and years before, and no one broke into her house. But when she had to go to the hospital for, I think it was a
Sounds
stroke.
like a setup, dude.
Yeah, dude, because people are fucking snakes over there.
That's
Man,
fucking
that-
terrible.
That fucking area, man.
But we had ADT, so like as soon as that door broke open, it was like I've set off the alarm. It's loud as fuck. The neighbors can hear it, and our neighbor, like, so it was an alley, our garage, the backyard, which was like maybe 30 square feet, very small backyard.
The Midway neighborhood, you reach out your kitchen window and you can pass a fucking cup of sugar.
Yeah, dude.
You know,
like
if, for those of you
my
that don't
arm
know,
span. So between
it's,
each of the
it's
houses,
the city, and
Right.
the airport is in the middle of a fucking neighborhood.
Right. So by the way, since it's like the airport's right there, all the houses and apartments are all soundproofed. Yeah. Right.
Yes, but if
ever-
you're outside, like I remember being outside with my dad, and he'd be showing me some like landscaping or whatever. We anytime we went over to my dad's house, anytime we went over to my dad's house for like half the time, every weekend I'd go to my dad's,
Yeah.
and then I'd live Monday through Friday with my mom's
Right.
in Hanover Park, which was also not a good area.
No.
He would be like, okay, well, we got to do all this landscaping, or like we got to replace this garage door, like just anything. He had a project for us. That's how I was pretty confident hanging up your TV there, dude. Like the only reason why I'm handy when it comes to like everything, like general handyman shit, is because of my dad. Like,
Which is good.
The Marine Corps taught me how to be a mechanic, and that's different. But like, dude, my
Right.
dad taught me shit
Which is
like
good.
that.
You got these young kids nowadays that are under 25. They don't fucking drive. They don't know how to use a fucking screwdriver. They don't know how
I'm
to fucking
25.
fix shit around the house.
Shit, some of them don't even have their fucking license.
Most
or care
yeah,
to
most
even
of-
get
but
their
I'm
license.
yeah, majority. Yeah.
Man,
What the
They're not
fuck?
fucking
Tell
driven.
me
They're not
about it,
driven.
dude.
They're not driven. They fuck up. They jump into relationships and get girls pregnant before they even fucking like
know
work
how to
on
be a man.
themselves. Right.
Exactly. Do you know why that is? Or why I believe that is?
Tell me what your perspective. is.
Please tell
is
me.
because these men,
I got a lot of
these
perspectives.
these boys that are over 18, let's call them men for conversation purposes, right?
Mhm.
Their father wasn't intended. They didn't have a father in the home.
Yep.
Yeah,
That'll
funny.
do it.
We just went over statistics
That'll
on
definitely do it.
fatherless homes a couple
Couple
episodes ago
yeah, we
too,
did. Yeah.
and the statistics honestly were
We pulled that shit up too.
They weren't fun to go over.
No,
I'll
they
tell
weren't.
you that much.
It's fucking
No,
sad.
you got a lot of young boys out there that could be great men if they just had
And a lot of them end up
Honestly,
in the
all
system as
end
well.
up in our jail.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they end up in the system.
they,
I mean,
and that's
I used to
horrible.
work for the state penitentiary. Okay,
Yeah, you
right?
told me. Yeah.
And seeing people in their, fresh 18 years old,
It's like
and
no guidance.
they're doing life.
Shit.
And then I would see
'Cause
all
the streets
all,
raised them.
all the old heads that have been there before I was fucking born. You know,
Jesus.
okay? They spent their whole lives in a fucking in a
Cube
fucking
8x10?
caged off room, dude.
8x10.
Yeah,
Right.
right? Can you
80
imagine
square
that, dude?
feet.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
no.
Like 40 years just in there a bit.
Like,
But-
dude, we all make choices, right? Okay, people made choices that led them to where they are to this day.
Sure.
But I'm a firm believer that you are not a product of your environment unless you allow it to make you a product.
I full well agree. I like not to toot my own horn, and I really don't like tooting my own horn. But on paper, I should be a fucking piece of shit at our jail. I really should be.
Damn, you
I've had friends that have gotten DUIs, and I have friends that are dead. My one friend Daniel overdosed in 2018, and one of my closest friends. And these are the people I grew up with. These are the people I chose to surround my. And yeah, I chose. I remember watching them do shit I wasn't exactly okay with, and I would just be present. I wouldn't really do the shit with them.
Yeah.
And the day before I left for boot camp, I was like, I can back out now. Like, I'm really scared to go.
Damn.
I don't want to go, but the reason why I still went was because I knew I needed to change. Because I was a piece of shit in high school.
That's humility.
I
Accept
really
that.
was. I didn't give a fuck, dude. My grades, I don't give a shit, bro. I'm gonna go. Yeah, dude. I'm gonna skip out on this assignment. I'm gonna go to this party over here. I'm gonna get drunk. I'm gonna smoke some weed. Whatever it was, dude. I didn't give a shit. I didn't think ahead. I could have ended up like all my friends now, and not that they're in a bad spot. A lot of them have come out of it and to where they do honest work. They pay their bills every month, but I'm in a much better place financially, spiritually, physically than a lot of my friends, and I give all that credit to that one moment where I told myself, like, no, I need to go and I need to change. I need to get some goddamn
That was a defining moment. Yeah.
gosh darn discipline in my fucking body to where I say it to this day, as much as the Marine Corps did a lot of damage to me emotionally and spiritually, that could be a podcast of its own, like
Yeah.
I'd
a
love to hear
whole
about it.
episode to where, because 90% of the time it was suffering, and that made me who I am today, to where I'm not a piece of shit. I was taught discipline. I was taught accountability. What I do and the choices I make matters not only to how it affects my life, but other people's lives. And I remember, dude, I was my last day in the Marine Corps. I was sitting in the comms room, and a lot of my favorite people were there, and we were cracking jokes, reminiscing, all this other shit. And then Sergeant Decker, who to this day, and probably for the rest of my life, is probably one of the greatest men I've ever known, to where if we were in wartime, that dude would have gotten a Medal of Honor twice over. Just one of the best men I've ever known on this entire planet. He walked me out on the side exit door to our entire maintenance building, and that door was closest to Alpha Company's maintenance bay. And I opened the door and I go, well, like, I said it out loud. I said, well, this is it. Like, this is the last time I'm going to step out here. And I left, and I shook Sergeant Decker's hand, and I told him I loved him, and I left. And walking the 2 minutes back to my barracks to go start packing all my shit to catch my plane to go back home to Illinois, I just thought about how much I had changed from 2017 to 2021. And it's every change I made is the change I needed, no matter how hard it was. I needed to make that change. Coffee, there's a very good chance if I made the choice to, like, no, I'm not going to go to the Marine Corps, because it was like, dude, it was hard to go. I had to leave everything. I had to leave everybody I've ever known to go to a place I've never been before, thousands of miles away.
Man.
Nothing but the clothes on your back.
But dude, I knew I needed to go. I knew I needed to go. And then when I was going back, I started thinking about 18-year-old Henry, and I was a piece of shit, dude. I definitely had to make that choice, and I'm glad I did. You know, this is what I learned from that, and this is my words. I coined this. I've never heard this anywhere else. Is the easy way is almost never the correct way of doing something. The easy way is almost never the right way of doing something. The hard way, that's the correct way of doing it. Like, you go to do something, and it works, but it's not perfect. That's not the right way of doing something. If you're gonna, like, let's bring up Star Wars real quick. Yoda, do or do not. There is no try.
Right.
You're either gonna do it or you're not gonna fucking do it. For me, I kind of look at things like where I go, do it right or don't do it at all. And
Why half-ass something when you can full-ass it?
full ass it, and who doesn't like a half ass? Like,
Right.
you want to marry a girl with half an ass?
No.
You want a full ass.
You want a full fucking ass,
I want
dude.
that full fucking ass.
That fucking.
You hear that, babe?
know.
You know,
Probably sleep.
man. Yo, this
Oh,
this
man.
episode tonight, man. I know for sure there's gonna be someone out there, and I don't care if it's only just one person. They're gonna be inspired by your story tonight, and they're gonna fucking. It's gonna hit
Yeah,
them.
I'm
hard.
getting,
It's gonna
you're,
hit.
you're
them
giving me goosebumps.
hard. and they're gonna fucking. It's gonna inspire somebody. I know it's gonna inspire someone out there, dude. Because this really hits. This could really save someone's life in any kind of different way, man.
And that's
Well,
one of our many
That's
goals of the
so-
show.
Yes,
is
absolutely.
to reach out to.
and in my
fellow
opinion,
brothers.
you're doing the Lord's work if you're doing that.
Right, like these
you
two,
really
these
are.
two asked me, "What is
Thank
your
you.
goal of this show? What is your like to save as many men as I can? I don't care if it's 1,000, 1,000, millions, like as many as I can."
expose the wrong, break
So-
the teeth of the wicked.
If there's anyone listening
save
out there,
lives.
I've been
Right.
on this planet. In 5 days now, it'd be 26 years.
Right.
And the most important lesson I've ever learned is the easiest way to do something is almost never the right way of doing it. I mean, sure, I said earlier, what did I say? The older I get, the more I realize I don't know.
Yeah. Right.
That kind of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
that's all well and good, but if I were to pick one, it would be the easiest way of doing something is never the right way of doing something.
Like you've said a lot of eye-opening things tonight that I hope people can really just lift their eyebrows, and be like, "Damn, like, wow, like I need to watch this episode again or rewind that and hear what he just said. Did he just say that?" And like, I hope people go out. I know they're gonna do that, man. I know they will. You know,
I really hope for that.
that's what I hope for. Seriously. It's there,
I've
you
said
know?
it to my wife many of times. Like throughout the, let's say 25 years, because I'm not 26 yet. It seems like to learn something, I really have to learn it the hard way, and that's a painful way of living. It really is. I have to fuck it up
That's
before
what resonates the
before
most.
I
I
learn
guess,
it.
you know, yeah.
And I wish I could just listen and learn the right way the first time. But no, dude. For me, I've been cursed to where I have to fuck it up and then I can learn. And
That's just
that's a
you, man. Yeah,
very
that's just kinda-
exhausting
yeah.
way of living. So please, if anyone's listening, the right way of doing
right,
something
right.
is never the easiest way. You do it the right way every time.
Yeah, but yeah, because I like to say, I've told Justin here before, like I like to like see other people's mistakes and don't do those mistakes. So yeah, that's
So,
exactly
Leadership is one of our topics, correct?
It is towards the end of the episode.
Okay, so I also coined this.
Yeah.
I maybe I heard it from somewhere, but I feel like if I did hear it from somewhere, I would remember where, and I don't. So I'm just gonna say I coined this.
Yeah.
But in the military, in our camis or camo uniforms, we had cargo pockets,
Mm-hmm.
and we had a left cargo pocket and we had a right cargo pocket. And when I would look at leaders, because there was a few leaders where I did not fucking like. One of them, if I saw him, I'd want to fight him.
Isn't that a topic tonight, right? Isn't that a topic
Leadership.
about?
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah. We're gonna get to
Or-
that here
or-
in a
right,
little bit.
Exactly.
Oh,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Am I jumping? Am I
No,
jumping?
go
Okay.
ahead.
All right. It just came up, so it made me think about it. This wasn't even something I premeditated. It just the conversation we had reminded me of it. But I call it the left cargo pocket and the right cargo pocket theory. No matter where you go, you're going to work under somebody. None of us are going to be a president. And if you are, good for you. But I would put all of my money on none of us here is going to be a president to where there's nobody above us, right? Or to where, let's say you are a president and you fucking conquer the country in Canada and Mexico and you're the next Julius Caesar. It's probably not going to happen. There's going to be someone above you always. So when that, and as subordinates in the workforce, we pay attention to what our superiors do, yes?
Yeah, absolutely.
I do. Right?
I sure do.
Sure.
Yeah.
Justin? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
When I use
Isaac?
half
Sure.
jobs.
Okay. While you're watching that leader, and
Thanks, Billy.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
Little fancy word, but
and while you're working under this individual, just picture the cargo pockets, right? The left
Yeah.
cargo pocket, you put all the shit you don't want to be as. The shit you don't like, you put in the left cargo pocket because someone who fucks shit up, you can learn shit from,
Yeah.
right? Bad leaders, you can still learn something from. It's what I say about. I hope she never sees this because her and I are on very good terms. But my mother growing up was not the best mother, and her as a parent taught me a lot because it was not. I put it in my left cargo pocket. That's what I'm not gonna do, right? So that goes in the left cargo pocket. And then I had good leaders in my time in the workforce. I like to bring up. We had First Lieutenant Merton in my first deployment cycle. One of the best leaders I've ever come across. He would give you He would give you your left arm, his left arm, if you needed it, right?
Damn.
This man, a lot of what he did went in the right cargo pocket. So that's my left and right cargo pocket theory. I'm gonna watch this leader. This leader does X, Y, and Z that I don't like. Left cargo pocket. This leader over here does A, B, and C that I fucking love, and that's who I want to be. And I put it in my right cargo pocket because you're storing it for later, right? And for being a good leader, I think the left and right cargo pocket theory that I coined myself is very powerful. Not only can you learn from the people that are doing God's work out there, that are just hooking and jabbing, doing it right every time. That I'm going to put in my right cargo pocket. You got that shit bag over there that's fucking up over here and there and making it hard for everybody else. That's going in the left cargo pocket. It's as simple as that. So
I like that. I like that. I like that. Like
That's a good way.
ideology,
of
kind of method,
Yeah.
strategy, kind of thing. Yeah, like that's whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I like that. I've never heard that before.
it's
It's a different perspective.
who said it to me? This isn't mine. So this isn't mine. I really can't remember who said it to me, but I remember being told that you can learn something from everybody, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
And that's
You
kind
really
of that's
can,
what it
yeah.
kind of boils down to. That's what I like to say, the nuts and bolts of what I'm trying to say.
Right.
I always say a day without learning at least something is a day wasted.
Damn,
Learn something
I like
every
that.
day.
I like that.
Otherwise, it's a day wasted.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of
dude,
just existing then. At that
We are
point.
only on this earth for a limited amount of time.
Right.
80 years if you're lucky.
Maybe. Yeah.
If
If
you're
that,
lucky.
right?
Right. So if that's the thing, and that's what's good about it, because Neil deGrasse Tyson, like you brought up earlier,
Sure.
he said in this, he said, I don't want to live for like 1,000 years, because if I did, I take my time, sweet ass time doing anything and everything. I'm glad that I get to live 80 years, and then
There's
when
no
I
rush.
die, when I'm 80,
Right.
when I die, I want my body just to be put into the ground, and I just want to just do like everything else ever did in the human existence, you know. So yeah, that I like when people say certain things like that, because like if you have 1,000 years, you would take your sweet ass time doing anything.
Yeah, dude. You would think, oh, I got
You know, like-
999 years left. I'm gonna enjoy
Right,
this year.
exactly.
I'm gonna be a shitbag. Because, dude, being a shitbag feels pretty fucking good. I used to be a shitbag.
And I definitely, definitely during COVID, a lot of us felt that too. You know, like during like 2020, like
It's
people got lazy.
circling back
Peak
to
of
what I said
Warzone, dude.
earlier. Circling back to what I said earlier, the easy way is almost never the right way of doing something, and it's
Yeah,
pretty
right. 100%.
fucking easy to be a shitbag.
I don't know if you guys
It
saw
is.
this,
Hmm.
and this is to piggyback off of what you're going off of here, Henry. Is,
Sure.
If you guys are familiar with Dr. Jordan B. Peterson.
Yeah, dude,
which-
I love that man.
Absolutely. Dual citizen of Canada and the United
Yeah.
States. That man has probably changed how I view life.
Bro,
as a
I
whole.
literally
Dude,
do a carnivore diet because of him. Literally.
There you go.
Beef,
Really.
salt, and water diet.
Right.
Yeah.
Beef, salt, water.
I lost the way I did. I lost the way I did because of him, dude.
12 Rules of
Literally.
Life,
He
which
inspired
I'm
me in
currently
this
reading
video.
still.
He did with Jordan, with Joe Rogan. Like,
Jordan.
There was an interview with him, and I forget who it was. I believe it was another like Canadian interviewer, reporter.
I mean,
Anyways,
like a news outlet.
Probably,
I
probably.
suppose. And I'll never forget this. And I had just seen this recently, and this reporter is sitting across from Doctor, and looks at him, and goes, you preach, in your book about honesty being a very high moral thing. I forget how she worded it, but
yeah.
and and then she goes, "Do you lie?"
Oh,
British chick?
saw
Oh,
this.
I did see
Is
that.
it British? Okay, yeah, there you
I
go.
saw
that,
this.
that British
Yes.
chick.
And
Yes.
then he replied, "Everybody lies."
Yeah,
She's
but
like
the way he
literally
replied,
leftist.
yeah,
She's literally leftist.
the way he replied, he stopped. He he looked away. He thought about it, and the look on his face. He looked back at her, and just stoically goes, "Everybody lies."
Right, dude.
Damn.
Because that's true.
And that is an honest answer right there.
It's a very honest answer. It's a
And-
real answer.
It was very like,
Yeah.
whoa, okay, that was such a deep thing to say. I mean, it's
Yeah,
a very
right, right.
simple response,
Right,
but it
but-
was so deep,
Right.
Because the
Right.
look on his face, how he delivered it,
How
okay?
he said it. Right.
Because if you're asked in front of a panel, hey, you ever lied? And you go no, you're a damn
You're a-
liar.
Right there you lie.
Right there.
Everybody lies.
Right there.
Yeah.
Okay. So by him saying everyone lies, yes, he's admitting to being a liar at some point in his life, at least once. Now, the next question she asked him. The next question. She said, "What do you want to be remembered for?"
Oh yeah.
And do you know what he said? He says, being an honest person. Think about that, man. Think about that. You know, going through life, you're going to lie at some point. Everybody lies, right?
Right.
You heard it from
Even
him.
if they're white lies.
Yeah.
Big or small lies are lies.
Mm-hmm.
Omitting the truth is considered a lie. Okay? You're lying. But to look at this reporter square in the face and telling her and answering her that he wants to be remembered as an honest person is one of the most real things I probably ever heard him say. And it was such a simple little conversation that they had.
Yeah. Right.
And that hit me so hard.
Like the energy, the tonality, the like the pause.
Yeah,
like all of that.
absolutely.
All that. Just like it. Just
And if you
hits.
know Dr. Jordan B. Peterson,
Yep.
he's known for not spewing back as soon as he's asked a question.
Right.
No.
He'll sit there.
He is a
Yeah.
psychologist too.
Yes.
But
His
I
IQ
know-
is pretty high. Yeah.
I really believe he really truly cares because
He
I
does.
did watch some interview. I forgot what he was on,
He
but
really does.
he was being interviewed and it got him. He was talking about helping men or something like that, along the lines, and he got very emotional on that episode.
Yeah.
He started crying.
Right.
So,
He's
I mean,
he's a
I
great
think
dude.
That's a man.
Genuine
He's a great dude.
dude in what he believes in.
To believe what you to believe in something with such vindication, such
Yeah,
dedication,
Right.
it
Mhm.
brings you to tears.
Yes. Right.
That
Exactly.
that is such a high quality of a man. I looked to him for so
Yeah, he
much
made himself cry.
inspiration, dude.
Because it's
And
about
if you guys
helping men.
aren't familiar with him, he is the author of the 12 Rules of Life.
Yeah.
And his sequel to that book I just picked up not too long ago.
Okay.
12 Rules of Life Beyond Chaos, I
Damn.
believe is the name. I have it down there on my bookshelf. But guys, check those books out. In one of our previous episodes, we went over the first 4 rules of life. That's where I was at that point reading the book and my interpretation of the rules. So for reference, please refer back to that episode. And Henry, your hair looks good.
Thanks, dog.
It looks real good.
Give
I
a
know
like-
he went to
gi-
go comb it.
I hit my leg as a fucking mic drops.
Hilarious.
So, give a like if you think his hair looks good.
Thank you. I'm a professional Italian. I got a comb on me at all times.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I slick back the hair. I have the high shine and high hold hair gel. It works the best. So,
What's your secret?
I'm
Is it-
bald.
is it all-
I'm
is it olive
bald.
oil?
So yeah, what's my secret is first of all having hair.
Fuck you.
Sorry,
me and
Billy.
Billy, like me and Billy, no, we don't.
I have it everywhere
The-
else
the-
but
the-
my fucking
The
head.
two Italians,
Yeah, Billy's hair ran away from his head onto everywhere else in his body.
Yeah, it ran down to my ass.
It's a lot more than your ass, pal.
It's a forest down there.
Forest everywhere, Adam.
of course,
Oh shit.
the two Italians have gray hair.
What
They have
are
great
you,
hair.
Coffee? What are you? What's your ethnicity, man?
White.
White, but what?
No.
Really?
Big guy.
I am half Irish and half Italian.
I'm half Irish.
Oh,
half.
dude, so you're one of us, dude.
Yes.
Right on. That's
Oh,
awesome.
you
have
Coffee
Italian.
is pretty Irish though.
I'm half Irish, half
So,
Puerto Rican.
I got a Polish last name. I hear you.
But on my mom's side, it's a lot of Polish, Lithuanian, and Italian as well.
Dude, Polish
So-
invented Fat Tuesday. Like, you got nothing else on us for that.
Hey, speaking of the Polish guys, I'm a huge fan of the Lord of the Rings. Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck
yeah.
If you weren't aware, the ride of the Rohirrim in the Return of the King, when King Theoden rolled up to Gondor and Minas Tirith
strong.
was under siege by Mordor.
Sure.
Okay, do you know that whole scene
This is
was inspired by the Polish hussars? I think I'm pronouncing that right. Poland went to the aid of, I forget which country. I gotta look it up right now, but this country called out for aid because the Ottoman Turks were invading
Denmark.
this
no,
country.
not Denmark.
No, it wasn't Denmark.
Who was it?
Shit, by the way, I'm half,
Dude,
I'm half Irish, half Puerto Rican.
Thanks,
By the
man,
way,
for
I'm
sharing. I had no
horrible
idea.
at names.
Well,
It's hard for me
I
to.
hope
but I
y'all
know what you're
do,
talking
but,
about. I'm
maybe
horrible
they
at names, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Think for yourself, all right?
Yeah, dude. Dude, see, this is what pissed me off about my brain the most, right? Like, you can put something in front of me, like, so when I was a mechanic, like, you could put a part in front of me, and I could tell you what it does and how it works, but I couldn't fucking tell you the name of it, because I just forget, dude. I'm
Oh,
horrible at
yeah,
names.
Yeah, right.
Um,
Well, me too, bro. Like I'm a dog trainer, man. Like
Yeah.
like, the girl, like the lady, it's always the girls. They're like, it's my dog's a boy, not a girl. My dog's a girl, not a boy. I'm sorry. Like
it's a fucking
you
dog.
want me, what you want me to do?
Sorry, you're
Right.
not checking for nuts in a dick.
Right.
Right, and and most of them are
Getting-
cut off or
getting
welded
salted.
Yeah,
shut.
right.
Welded
I mean, I'm
shut.
Right. They're
dogs
spayed.
see a
Like,
day.
what the fuck? I'm sorry.
Okay.
Hey, give me a couple
So-
weeks. I'll figure it out.
It was the siege of Vienna. It was the siege of Vienna, and
Sounds familiar.
Vienna's Italian.
yes,
Yeah, they're definitely
Yeah.
Italian.
so the Ottoman Turks were trying to expand their empire, and they expanded west into Italy, northern Italy. Okay,
Sure.
and the battle of the siege of Vienna was the inspiration for Tolkien for his portrayal of the Battle of Pelennor Fields in Lord of the Rings. Okay?
Yeah.
The Ride of the Rohirrim, the Siege of Minas Tirith. It's said that Poland answered the call to aid when Vienna reached out. And so Poland sent their most elite cavalry, their most elite military units to Vienna. And if you guys know anything about history, the Polish hussars were the elite of the elite cavalry during the medieval
Sure.
times.
Sure.
They had the wings on their backs. I mean, they were such an elegantly armored unit. They're to be a Polish hussar, you know, you were trained basically from birth to become one of them.
Do you mind if I ask you something?
Go ahead.
Is that kind of like being a Navy SEAL today?
That was the equivalent. Yeah, that was the
Okay.
equivalent, like
Okay.
of being a
I'm picking up what you're
medieval
putting down. Sure.
cavalryman. You could equate them to being the Navy SEALs, the best of the best.
Strong, man.
So it couldn't be anybody and be one of them.
Exactly.
Got it.
I believe a lot of them came from royalty, so
Nobleman.
noblemen, yes.
Sure.
So the King of Poland answered the call, and this is such a turning point
Ron.
in world history.
Damn.
Because if the Ottoman Turks had conquered Vienna, they would have expanded west to the Atlantic.
Sure.
They would have went to the English Channel. The Ottoman Turks would have expanded their empire, and Europe today would not be what we know it as of right now.
It's kind of like if Nazi Germany won, we'd all be speaking German right now.
Yeah, which like that one game you talking about
Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein,
Wolfenstein,
yeah,
yeah.
where that's
Those
the
are
alternate
great
universe
games, by the
where
way.
the Nazis did win.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wolfenstein's
I
good.
just want you guys all to think.
I was more of a Doom guy,
I want-
but
what's the
Wolfenstein is
sit back-
good.
Absolutely.
Sit back real quick and think about everything that didn't happen the way it did, or did happen the way it did. Imagine the world in different ways, man. You know what I'm
Kind of
saying?
like the butterfly effect, ain't it?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
was
The
just
butterfly
thinking
effect.
that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was just thinking that.
Right. So for anyone out there, the butterfly effect is so you make one move and then it's like dominoes effects. pretty
Ripples.
much. It ripples, right?
Yeah.
To like a different all these different alternatives, you know. So that's pretty much what the butterfly effect is. You make a move and it changes everything that you foresee in the future, you know. So it's a very deep kind of I wouldn't say
We could talk about for that for a long time.
that's- Yeah,
We really could. I'm already thinking about like 2 things to add on. To
you know,
that.
everything we talked about tonight could be like 10 hours.
Yeah,
It could be, and I just went down this nerd rabbit hole,
You
but
know,
that is one of my most favorite
we-
facts ever, because
Which one?
what he was just talking
the
about.
siege of Vienna.
Oh, okay, yeah. You know what? We should write that down for a topic in the future, man. Because
Yeah.
that's if you want to go in depth about that, man. People
I'd
watch
watch that
stories.
episode.
His-
When people listen to
historical-
podcasts, they want to hear stories. They want stories.
historical turning
love 'em.
points. Absolutely,
Yeah.
that is definitely going to be an episode, guys.
yeah,
so stay
absolutely.
tuned for
Stay tuned for that.
That's why you should probably subscribe right now.
Like, hit the fucking light notification, man. What the how much did we give you tonight so far, dude? Like
Yeah,
we gave you some good shit. Our boy here, he really said a lot of things tonight that was really life changing for people.
Thank you.
That could save someone's life, many people's life. I think anybody's
sir.
life, you know. So yeah.
Yes, sir.
In if so, this is the first like real platform that I've put my face on,
You done great tonight, dude. Like seriously,
and
yeah.
and I
Some people choke. We had people in the past that come on and they sucked on other podcasts.
Not
Come
this
on,
podcast,
not this podcast,
ladies and
but a
gentlemen.
podcast, and they don't fucking say shit.
I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah.
This environment's a lot easier for me. Anytime I was put on a promotional panel, it was my timbers were shivered, like where I knew I was the only person talking to multiple people. But this is wonderful. I just met you.
Yes, yeah.
You got Justin and Isaac here.
Yeah.
You guys are great, by the way. I just feel like I'm talking with friends. Really?
And that's the whole point of
Right.
this show.
That-
When we're talking about everything, it's amongst brothers
You're
here.
already my boy, so
Oh, of course.
yeah.
And thank you. We are talking amongst brothers, and this is supposed to be a platform for other brothers out there
Absolutely.
to
Absolutely.
relate to what we're doing here. This is
I remember when you first told me about your podcast, we were done for the day at work, and
Yeah.
we were walking by, and you told me that a lot of what you talk about is men's mental health.
Yes.
And I just want to stress it to people. If any of you recognize me and you have my phone number or you know how to find me on Facebook, dude, reach out to me anytime.
Right. Reach out.
Anytime, dude. It's hard for us dudes out there. All of us, you guys have been a man longer than I have. I'm preaching to the choir. It's hard for us men out there, and it's not. I'm not saying that it's easier for women or anything like that. It's just different.
It's different. Yeah.
it's different.
So, if anybody out there needs somebody to talk to, dog, like I've had friends take their own life, coming out of the military. I won't say his name, but my one friend most recently shot himself 3 times in the head and ended up surviving. It's a miracle, literal miracle. Like, sure, his speech is super messed up, but and then when I first got to H&S Company in 3rd Amphibious Assault Battalion, 3rd Tracks, it's a shortcut, 3rd Tracks. This one guy, I won't say his name, God rest his soul, showed me around, and he made it very easy. He didn't make me feel nervous. He didn't make me feel, because dude, when you go to your first unit, you're the bottom bitch, bro. Like, and you know that, and you show
You
up
work
and
your
you're
way up,
like, just don't fuck up.
Yeah.
I show up, and this guy's showing me around, and it was like I was already accepted.
It's kind of rare to see that in the military. huh?
Exactly, it really is, and
So you said you got lucky, I guess, in that moment, yeah.
I was lucky to have him
Yeah,
show
to have him,
show me
yeah.
the ropes,
Right.
and he's not with us anymore. And he was one of the kindest souls I've ever met in my entire planet, and it breaks my heart to this day.
Yeah.
Most recently, it was his anniversary, the 3rd anniversary, and I saw his mom post on Facebook and how she missed her son. Like, look, if you're struggling out there, you're a son to somebody.
Yeah, right.
Don't put your parents through that pain.
I'm a parent now. I would never want to go through something like that. Dude, you guys can put my number out there, dude. I'll talk to anybody about this shit. It's very important to get to a point in life to where you are comfortable in your own skin, and that's more more valuable than your weight in gold. And I don't care if you weigh 600 pounds. And just sitting here and the few episodes I've seen by you guys, I really think you guys have done the Lord's work in helping people. And that's, you can go work at a soup kitchen all you want. Like, you can give people something, but arming somebody with the state of mind to do it for themselves is way more valuable, in my opinion. And cheers to you guys, honestly. That's
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Not everybody out here is doing that shit. I wanted to do stuff like that. I really did. Before I went into law enforcement, I was really set on being a pastor. All right.
Yeah.
He knows this. But I'm letting you guys know this now. I really wanted to be a pastor. Christianity might not be for everybody, but those of us who it is for, I'm willing to work with you. You guys know Charlie Kirk? Charlie Kirk?
The famous pastor?
No, he's not a pastor. He's
Oh,
more
yeah.
of a Republican, kind of like outspokesman to where
Familiar.
he'll go to colleges.
I know who
and
this
he'll
guy
debate
is.
people.
I know who Charlie Kirk is. Yes.
He's pretty popular.
Oh, thinking who you're talking about now.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Love
one
him.
talking point he brought up is you go to any church and you will be fed, right? You don't even have to be a Christian. You'll be fed. That's more of the kind of pastor I
Right,
wanted
right.
to be. I just wanted to help as many people as I possibly can. And what you said earlier about just if it was just one person that was enough for you, dude, I felt that. I know exactly what you mean. Helping somebody, giving them food is one thing, but giving the opportunity to someone to make their own money and buying their own food is a whole different.
Right, because if you sit at home, you don't do nothing. If you don't go out in life and do stuff, nothing happens. So,
Right.
like for example, right
no
now
one's
we're
gonna help you like you will, dog.
right. We're right now, like even like doing this podcast right now. If we never turn the camera on and record it and upload it, it doesn't help no one out. But when we go and we show it to the world, then we can start helping people out.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. There's a lot of people out there
It's
that could be the best motivators in the world, but they never show themselves. They never try to help people. So
I don't
it's
like
important to just show yourself, so people can see what you're
Make
saying.
yourself
'cause
present.
Make yourself known. Make yourself present.
Mhm.
present. Yeah.
That's
like,
that's the difference.
It's like the old saying goes, you give a man a fish, he eats for a day, and teach him how to fish, he eats
Right,
for
exactly.
a lifetime.
That-
It's
right.
very common old one, but
No,
I think that is
I've heard that
extremely true.
before, but I was trying to think of those words
Mhm.
or just something to mean that. But that's the
Right.
best way I could probably put it.
Yeah.
Is, you guys are out here teaching
That's-
people how to fish, and that's beautiful. If you ask me, that's wonderful.
Well, you're a part of this
appreciate
too
that.
now.
You know what I will comment on? I was taking a leak over there, and we all have that. Where we're taking a leak and we have some clarity.
Right.
Post piss clarity.
Yeah, and I'm just like, this is probably the most fun I've had in a very long time. In a very long time, this is the most fun I've had. So, thank you very much for having me here. I'm very grateful to be here.
Appreciate you.
Thank
Thanks for
Oh,
being a
no.
part of this.
Yeah,
big
seriously.
part of this.
Thank you.
You're definitely welcome on again.
Sure. I mean,
Always.
anytime I can, and you guys want me, sure, I'll be here. It's not for us though. It's for y'all's fans, right?
It's
but-
for to help anybody that needs the help.
Men
Honestly,
are-
that's how I really feel about it. It's for anybody that really, really needs the help. Yeah, people might. Okay, yes, entertainment. People like the moments of like they laugh at this and that. Like we all like that. We all want to be entertained, all of us, right? But my huge goal is to just like someone just listens to. I don't care if it's 1 minute of something you said, 1 minute, whatever. If any of you guys, someone just says, "Damn, I'm taking that advice. I'm gonna run with it." Because I've watched videos online and they've changed my life.
Yeah.
So that's what I want with our show.
Yeah.
That's my goal. Dude,
And I don't know your guys' fan base, but if I was watching, I would say you reached that already.
I know you mentioned how I had a few things to where you're like, oh wow, man, that's powerful.
Right.
Isaac, you've said some things, and I've been like, dude, that's crazy. You over there, you put the words in my mouth that I wanted to say. Justin, fucking awesome. Coffee, you and I have had many of talks over our times, dude.
Many.
Yeah, many. If the viewers out there don't know, Coffee and I will get off of work. I'll get hammered, and we'll just jump in an Xbox party, and we'll just talk. And we've had some good conversations. A lot of it's you listening because I ramble a ton when I'm
Like
drunk.
last night?
Yeah, like last night.
Dude,
I-
playing Hell Let Loose or something.
No, dude,
I was
we were-
playing Space Marine 2, Warhammer.
and I was playing Skyrim. Like we were just in the party together.
He was just being a lumberjack.
Yeah, dude.
He was just cutting wood for like 2 hours.
Dude, I totally was. I can't, dude. That's how hammered I got last night. Is I don't remember everything that happened.
He decided to get a real job.
You weren't the only one to get
Playing
hammered last
video
night.
games.
Fuck.
Dude, I was making a shit ton of arrows to level up my smithing capabilities in Skyrim, and what I found after playing that game over the course of 14 years, every year consistently, is the fastest way to level up your smithing is making arrows, and to make arrows you need firewood. And your guy, like, I'm not a big guy. I'm not weak, but I'm not a big guy in the slightest. But I could chop fast. I could chop wood faster than the fucking Dragonborn. All right, like he's sitting over there like placing the wood down, fucking, and I needed to make like 200 things of wood, and each chop is 2 wood. Dude, I was there for a long time just talking shit with Coffee, bro. Like, it took forever. Dude, we were just talking. It was a great time. I know I gave you my whole religious spiel because I was that drunk. There's no way I didn't.
You did.
Yeah, I did. Oh man, good times, dude. Good times. That's the other thing. Like I have a certain group of friends that I've been friends with since like kindergarten. So that would be 2004 for me. And some more so on to where it's like 2008, 2009 where we became friends. And it's like not all of them can hold a conversation to where it's like intellectually demanding. And so anytime I talk to you, it's a nice change of pace. My one friend Cameron, I will say his name. That's what you remind me of, is because he's a very smart man. And why I say he's smart is because he'll hear something and he'll just remember it. Like, he retains knowledge very quickly, and that's actually the definition of IQ. It's not what you know; it's how fast you can learn something.
Huh.
That's what
Reminds me
IQ
of one of
is.
my good buddies too.
Yeah, he's just very
It's like
smart.
a really smart, nerdy, dorky dude. But
And
Evan,
he
we had it,
he
yeah.
can carry those intellectual conversations, and this podcast just reminds me of that. Is whatever topic I've heard about tonight is everyone has something to say about it, and it's something worthy to say about it. And if I haven't said it enough, it's been a great time so far. Very, very happy to be here.
Love to hear it, man. Thank you. Big
for
time.
real, appreciate it, because I mean, you definitely said a lot of things, and we're all still learning all the time, and some of the shit you said tonight, man, it's good to hear.
I
Like
appreciate
learning,
that.
and your just your personal life, the Marine Corps, and all that kind of stuff. It's really interesting. Billy with the
It's like a
history
breath
buffs.
of fresh air.
Yeah, really like the history stuff. Billy always talks about.
It's some people call it useless information.
I don't think so.
I don't think.
I
No,
don't think so.
information
It's
is
very
useless.
interesting to learn because it's kind of way the world was. It was shaped, in certain ways, I guess you could say, from looking at the past to now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's useless stuff, man. I know some other
I
people may
often say no
disagree.
information is useless information.
Right.
It's a good
so
one.
I had
It's
a
true.
biology teacher in high school, and she gave me, I'll say parable, because parable is more of a story than an analogy. An analogy is more of a few phrases, right?
Mhm.
So I'll say parable, to where she told me, I really wish I could remember her name.
No, it's a Tool song.
One of the greatest teachers I've ever had. Genuinely made me feel engaged in school, and I was not very engaged in school.
Neither was
Uh,
I.
Yeah, that's a
know.
whole nother topic,
That was a
dude.
special ed.
Yeah, dude, I was in self-help classes too, man. Like,
Yeah, me too. That was like
Class
extra
of-
classes, I guess you could call them.
Classes with
Yeah.
I went to summer school one
5 to
year.
8 people.
I went fucking every year, Billy. I think I barely graduated. I had to take an extra class online to graduate, but thankfully
See,
my
that-
teachers
you know,
were extremely helpful, man. They really
Right.
cared.
right.
Holy shit, dude.
And that's always grateful. Like me, like I never went to summer school, but I definitely
always
went to
did,
those
yeah.
classes to where it's like they
I was
need
like,
to
fuck this
explain it
shit,
to
what
you
am
a
I
few
here for?
times for you to understand.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
kind of like that. dude.
and
It's
and
just-
to give myself credit, not that I like to
comprehend.
toot my own horn, but I was in those classes because I never did my fucking homework.
Me neither.
I got home and I was like, dude, I don't want to do homework.
I-
I just finished doing school for 7 hours or 6.5 hours. And why am I gonna
I
go?
used to laugh
to
at. I used to
school
laugh
now.
at the.
And now that I've been in the workforce for some time, like, dude, I go to work. I don't do work at home. Like, homework is fucking bullshit,
Fuck
dude.
that.
I used to laugh at it because I used to be in special ed, and like people in regular class, they regular ed, whatever the fuck you want to call it, they had big book bags. Like I walk around with no fucking book bags.
Yeah, dude.
Motherfucker, I didn't even
fucking
go to my
binder.
locker. I had everything in my backpack.
Right,
I walk
dude.
around. I
No,
walk around,
I
I
didn't
walk
even know
around
my locker.
hands-free.
I didn't even know where
I
my
was like-
locker was.
I was like, your
First
back's-
day I
your
went to high
back's gonna
school, knew where the locker was. That was it. Forgot where it
like-
was after that.
Like, your
So I never
bag's
went to
hurting.
it.
My bag's free for years.
Freshman through senior year, my build was a sling bag, an Under Armour sling bag.
Yeah.
With
Yo,
a fucking
you know what's
notebook.
so funny?
And maybe a few pens. And
Yo,
if I
you-
was in math, I would be like to the girl next to me, like, "Hey, can I borrow a pencil?"
Right.
Yeah, all the
because
time.
I didn't have
Always
that
asking to
shit.
borrow something from
Remember those skinny ass fucking kids, and they had a big ass book bag. They had
Yeah,
to, like,
dude, they had
to-
everything in
They had to
there.
like
They had a fucking first
they
aid
had
kit in
fat
there.
ass
if they
Yeah,
needed it.
yeah, yeah. Small little freshmen or something.
It's making them hit the ground and shit.
And some of them would fucking Naruto run
Oh, jeez. Hat,
to the fucking lunchroom.
hat and clogs.
Yeah, dude.
Right.
You remember him?
Oh man.
I'll tell you after.
Oh my!
Tell me,
Alright,
behind the scenes.
alright.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah, I'll tell you behind the scenes.
So I mean, do we want to? So okay, so we have this guest on. We have you out tonight. Do we even care to like do the other topics? I mean, like we kind of made
Not
this
particularly, no.
we kind of made this podcast his own thing,
We
which
kind
is
of
great.
did intertwine some of those
which
topics
is
with
great, which is great.
personal
We can
stories
just
and
push that those topic for the
Yeah,
next time.
no, I'm
Fuck
not.
it.
I'm not
So,
worried about it,
so to
Cares
chime
about it.
in a little bit, the only podcast I've routinely watched is the Joe Rogan podcast, and
Yeah,
I,
great.
I've never been on a podcast. Is this what we call winging it in the podcast?
Well,
realm?
okay, so if you watch
Well,
Joe Rogan's podcast, the thing is, he doesn't have like we're kind of more
Like material?
prepped. Yeah, like
Well,
we're more
see,
prepped.
Joe
has-
Rogan, he brings a guest on. That is his podcast.
Yeah, right,
It's not
right,
a
right.
comedy
So-
Yeah, and he
show.
talks-
It's
so-
just bringing
talks
different
shit.
walks of life
That was
on
kind
there.
of like
And
that was
he-
kind of like tonight. Like you came on and you told your story in
Yeah.
in great
See,
depth.
Henry,
And that's kind of what
you're-
he does with his guests.
Yeah.
I hope that's okay. Now, Coffee will tell you
Nah,
when
it's-
I've been.
it's-
Well,
not
we
okay,
go based
thanks.
off of
do you
topics
mean?
depending if
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
fine.
us. But you had a lot of good shit to share and a lot of good wisdom and insight.
Right.
So honestly, the topics they didn't even need to be necessarily discussed.
I'm just
'cause you came
organized.
on.
I come up with
So-
the content for every episode, but
That's honestly like just regular like
They're just
any
notes.
regular week. Like that's what we
Yeah.
do. Yeah. Like
Okay.
They're just
Yeah.
basic notes, but you had a lot of good shit
it's
to
like it's
share.
kind of
So-
it's kind of like a guide, I guess. In a
What
way.
I'll throw in here
Yeah,
is
go ahead.
in Coffee will tell
a
you
reference.
is when I drink, I can ramble.
Me
and,
too.
And I
You
got
haven't seen me drunk
lot
yet.
of shit to say, right?
Yeah.
And
saw
when
the
I was
Snapchat.
driving over,
Dude,
Wait, Snapchat?
Fuck off.
What Snapchat?
when I was driving over
the
here,
ones you sent me.
Oh, I got the recording.
I felt
when I was
insulted
driving
last
over here,
night,
I was
so.
telling myself, I was like, okay, like I know I'm going to be drinking, but I'm not going to take over the show. This isn't my show. This isn't my place. I'm here as a guest. And I really hope I haven't been eating too much of what you guys might have wanted to talk about.
No, respect thought, man, but you
This
shared
is
a lot
what
of
we
good wisdom
wanted
tonight.
to do.
Seriously.
All right, cool, man.
This is what
Cool.
this show is about.
The last thing you'd want is if we bring a guest on that barely talks, doesn't speak, has nothing really to share
know,
or say. I'd rather have you blabber your ass off of a lot of good things than to not say nothing
And
at all.
Okay, so I'll tell.
That makes a
I'll,
lot of sense.
I'll tell you this. Like,
That's
okay,
pretty
so
consistent.
you know,
I
out of-
can see what you're saying.
Out
you
of the
got,
last two guests that Billy has and like here's the thing, we don't know. I don't meet his coworkers until we meet them the night of. And
Sure.
we take chances, right? because
Yeah.
it's the first time meeting you. But
Right.
But we trust Billy's
it's been 2 for 2.
intuition too.
It's been 2 for 2 because the first Jared was great, and then you were fantastic.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
I
both of you
appreciate
guys.
really
that.
phenomenal.
I really appreciate that.
Both of you guys. So
I like to know
so
that.
now I know I can trust Billy's word because like
You couldn't before, asshole.
Nah,
No.
it just goes to show that your
No,
friends,
no, I
the
can trust
people
Billy's
you
word for
There's
sure.
the
become friends
gaslighting.
with are. Yeah.
Yeah, fucking
Got me
gaslighting.
fucking perked up now, man.
Oh man.
We can trust your word.
I've said it. I think.
Fuck you.
No, it's been okay. I guess I could say it's been proven. I guess.
Yeah,
is what
let's
I'm
put
saying.
it
It's
that
been
way.
proven.
Okay, proven. It's
So-
not like we didn't trust
so when
you
Billy
before,
says,
but
all right, well, I got a third guess. Well, yeah, because
Hopefully it's me.
You've been great.
You guys
yeah.
have been awesome.
sure, we want to have you on again.
Awesome, dude.
And actually,
I would love to
I'll
come
drink
on
with you
again.
that time.
That sounds good.
It's just that
Um,
He's
last night-
recovering.
He's
Yeah.
recovering, yeah.
Yeah, fuck, man. I'm getting old, man.
dude, I know how that shit is.
You know,
Dude, oh man, I was telling you though. And if there's
Honestly,
anybody out there that drinks, pretty routinely,
yeah.
maybe not alcoholic, but because if you're an alcoholic, you already know what I'm about to say. But if
drinking
you're the,
every day.
if you're the person out there that likes trying new things and get it, like for me, I get excited to go to my wife. She's Chinese and Filipino. A lot of our grocery shopping we do at a Asian market. It's called H Marts in Naperville.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything they got there is imported. I love going to the liquor section because it's all shit I've never tried before.
Really?
So I'll buy it, I'll come home, and I'll be excited to try it after I get off work. Wouldn't necessarily say I'm an alcoholic. I just think of it as a hobby. You know what I mean?
What is like a whiskey connoisseur or something like that? It's more for the
An
taste than it
alcoholic
is.
connoisseur. I'm willing to try anything
Shit, about
regarding
me.
alcohol at once. I had to throw
That's
regarding
about me.
alcohol in there. So what makes you hungover? It depends on how much water you drink and
Okay,
how much
yeah, we were
sugar
talking
you-
about that earlier. So
we were
it's-
talking about it
we were talking
earlier.
about before the
So
camera
if
started
anybody's
rolling, yeah.
listening,
Yeah, tell them too. Tell
because
the
I had to
audience
learn
as
this
well.
for myself. I
Yeah.
used to drink a shit ton of Twisted Teas, a shit
Okay.
ton,
How
the
many-
tall ones.
What, are
There's
they
a lot of
strong?
sugar in that bitch.
They're
He
strong.
just has a lot of sugar.
I can't remember the alcohol percentage. I want to say it's somewhere around 5 to 7%.
Yeah, that's what
Um,
usually those cans. Yeah.
That malt liquor loaded with sugar.
Like
that
still-
fucks my stomach.
Dude.
Oh.
You guys remember like a Four Loco or something?
Yeah,
With
Four
all that
Locos,
fucking sugar
Steel
in it.
Reserve.
Four Loco, Steel Reserve, dude. I used to drink those all
Yeah.
the time with my buddy Cam back
I
in the
used
day.
to be a fucking piece of shit. with
11%
those, yeah.
alcohol volume.
And then the Monacos, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they
Man.
had like the rooster on the can. or
Yeah,
like
yeah,
some-
yeah.
like
The
some
rooster
shit.
they can. Yep.
But
Yeah.
to finish what I was saying, right? How hungover you are depicts on how much water you drink while you've been drinking alcohol and how much sugar you've consumed while you've been drinking alcohol.
No water, all alcohol, all sugar.
Yeah, you're gonna be fucking hungover. You're gonna be done. Dude.
That's the. I'm not really
that
eating or
next-
drinking much sugar, to be honest with
Yeah, I
you.
mean, I don't take. Obviously, I don't take.
But
any
I think
sugar in, but
the lack of water. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't take any sugar. In.
Well, we
But-
were talking.
I do take sips, but I should probably be
That's why I
drinking
gave
a
you
lot
the
more.
liquid IV. I hope
Yeah,
you
I
drank
appreciate
it, or
it.
you are drinking
Yeah,
it.
it's right here.
good,
It's almost
cool.
I
empty,
mean,
man.
but for the fans out there, like you guys obviously should know about it. I'm on a carnivore diet, and yeah, on this diet, dude, you don't sober up, dude. You go.
Yeah,
sleep,
you got
go
no
sleep drunk.
carbs, no sponge in there to soak anything
You
up.
go sleep drunk.
You get drunk
Yeah.
fucking immediately, dude. You
Brett.
cracked the seal on a fucking bottle, and you're already
Dude,
buzzing.
I realized last night,
You
dude, he
smell it.
pours a lot more than me.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
A lot, dude. He's like, no, man, what are you talking about? We pour the same. And I look at his cup, I'm like, dude,
No,
you're
no.
almost at half.
I-
What are you?
no.
What are
Bro,
you talking
what this,
about?
Do you know what this fucking asshole did the other night, dude? When you fucking came
oh yeah, I
over,
didn't tell him. I didn't tell
yeah,
Justin,
fuck you. I looked at him square in the face. I go, hey, no fucking bourbon.
Yeah.
No
I,
bourbon.
I tell him,
You
too,
want to
man.
drink something? Go get a fucking Truly or a Sun Cruiser.
Truly.
Whatever I have over
Hey,
there.
nothing wrong with Truly's, Henry.
I don't.
Man,
I don't. I
man,
don't,
Truly
There's
snooze
a lot
fest.
wrong with Truly's.
Man, Truly's a snooze
I don't
fest.
drink them.
Size of
My
calories.
They're-
girlfriend,
no,
she likes to
no.
drink Stuff
All
like
right,
that.
all right, all
So
right. All right, I'm
No.
not questioning anyone's masculinity here, but there's a lot wrong with Truly's.
Man,
there's,
you know,
there's snooze fest. I don't like those.
I know it's gonna sound really gay to everybody, but I do kind of like
There's nothing wrong with
some
being-
little juicy fruity drinks
Yeah, dude.
from time to time. You know,
no,
we drink a lot of proper 12,
I
but
can get behind that. It's not that it's a fruity fucking drink. It's that it's a Truly. It's the only thing worse
Well,
than that is a
it's-
fucking White Claw. All right.
I used to drink a lot of those
yeah,
too.
right.
I'm a professional drinker. I can speak on this.
I used to fuck with White Claws
Right.
when they first like came out, I guess, because they're a recent drink.
All right. All right.
Because I was like, I'm not a real big
Before you
beer
forget,
guy.
before
My
you
buddies
forget.
used to call me Billy Clawfy, and it was the funniest thing. Sean, if you're listening right now, I love you, Larry. Lawless Larry.
Love you, bro. Wait, so you're gonna tell him a story?
Billy Coffee.
You're gonna tell Justin a story or some shit about the
Yeah,
other night?
dude, you fucking
Me?
piece of shit.
Oh.
So you fucking came over here the other night,
Yeah, we're waiting for Justin.
and that's when we went over basically like the roadmap for the next like 3 shows. And he looks at me and goes, "Hey, I'm gonna get something to drink." I go, "Dude, don't fucking have any bourbon. I swear
Don't you
to God,
dare open that bourbon, Isaac.
because you get fucking stupid."
He said,
Dude,
You
I
get
tell
real
him. I
stupid.
tell him that, and he, man, fuck you guys, man. You know what? I'm still gonna do it anyway.
And you know what he says? He goes, "Who? Me?" I said,
Yeah,
"Who the fuck else am I talking to?"
Look, Billy's a pretty patient guy, Isaac, and I told you this last night.
Yeah, no,
if he
man.
says, "Hey," it pisses him off. It's probably pissed for a reason.
Thank you.
right,
Okay.
right,
Like I'm an asshole. Okay, fine, but Billy, not really.
You know what? What this fucking drunk dude? Oh God, you pissed me the fuck off, dude.
did.
I'm getting fucking pissed,
What'd you do?
dude. So he grabs a fucking like a Truly or a Sun Cruiser or
Yeah.
something, you know,
Okay.
the
Yeah,
cans,
someone,
right?
yeah.
Sure.
And he probably, I don't know what the fuck you did, whether
I
you
finished the can
drank it.
first of all. I finished the
Okay,
can,
so
yeah.
you did drink it, got
Yes,
it.
I finished.
He kept the same fucking can
Can, yeah.
and filled it with bourbon.
Yeah.
You slide
No,
dog.
so Bill would know
An
I'm drinking bourbon.
intellectual, I
Oh,
see.
but he'll know
I get
because
behind that.
the way you act after.
Yep.
No,
and
I had
he
to
goes,
admit to it.
yeah, he's like, "You're gonna be real mad at me
Yeah.
about this." I said, "You had fucking bourbon,
Yeah.
don't you?"
Yeah.
And my girlfriend goes,
Yeah.
"It's in the fucking can, isn't it?" And he's like, "Yeah."
I think they both shook their head at the same time.
That's when I was like, "All right, cool, bye, get out."
An
I,
in
like,
sync shake of the head in disappointment.
Hey, we're telling this
Had
because
you
we
not-
love you.
had
we
you
actually
not-
care.
yes, had you not told me, I'd have known it anyways, because I knew where my fucking booze was leveled in the bottle.
Yeah,
Okay?
Billy's measuring it now.
Where it says whiskey, you could see that because the bourbon was leveled with the letters.
See, I didn't know that.
You fucking brought it down to the label at the bottom of the bottle.
really?
No. Yes, the fuck you did.
Bro, I was gaslighting. He just acts stupid.
I swear to God.
I might just start eating.
I
loaf
said,
of
"Hey,
bread,
fucking
fuck."
pour it out, drink it.
This
I
is
don't give a fuck. I'm going to bed."
Bread
Yeah,
is a good
yeah,
way
yeah.
to sober up. It does a very good job at soaking any alcohol that's in your stomach.
Yeah, you ever notice when you eat a meal before you drink? I mean, well, you're on carnivore, Isaac, but
No, but when
you
I
eat a nice
when I
carb
wasn't-
meal
yeah,
before
yeah,
you
I-
drink, and actually you could drink plenty of
well,
glasses
I fucking
of
hate it
liquor
because,
and
like,
stuff, and you won't even get a buzz going.
get sober up
That's what I
and-
was telling Coffee earlier. Like when we were all over here and we finished mounting the TV and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
When I was like, when I get home, it's pretty routine. If I got beer, it's different. If I got hard liquor, it's different.
Yeah.
If I got buzz balls, it's different. When I come home, I don't eat nothing. I grab my 2 beers, 3 beers. Depends how I'm feeling that day. Depends on how shitty that day was. And I'll down. And when I say beer and you think 12 ounces. No, I buy 16-ounce beers. Coors Light, they sell a 9-pack of 16 ounces. They'll sell a 12-pack of 16-ounce cans.
Tall boys.
Tall boys, sure.
Wow.
Well, for me, I think of tall boys as the ones that are like way bigger, like 24 ounces. But because 16 ounces is my 12-ounce beer. All right, that's what I drink. Like today, I went to the Meijer to go buy the Bullet Rye that we have for the old fashions for the podcast, and then I bought a bottle of sake that I haven't tried before. That was brewed in California or distilled in California, whatever you want to call it. So it's not imported, but it's something new. I'm trying it.
Shit, don't.
So you try all kinds of whiskey, beer.
But I looked at their
Just don't-
course. I looked at their core selection, and all they had was 12-ounce glass bottles or 12-ounce cans, and I didn't buy nothing. Because I'm not gonna drink 4 cans just to feel buzzed. Right? I'm gonna drink 2, maybe 3 on an empty stomach, and then I'm gonna feel buzzed. Then I'm gonna eat, and then I'm gonna keep drinking. Because drinking on a full stomach versus an empty stomach is. It's like, dude, you're playing on a different baseball field, dude. There's minor league and then there's fucking major league baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, like for me, I don't care if I eat, and it's literally the same.
Either way, it's gonna go right
For
through
me,
you.
it's
For
different.
me, it's the same.
For me,
on
it's
this
way
diet.
Look at
different.
this arbor.
Yeah.
That's
So-
Because remember when
Dude,
I think Billy was whipping up
like
some
Roman
grub,
armor, but like
and we
more
ate,
like
and then when I
badass.
was drinking that bourbon, I had a couple glasses.
I would show up to work,
and I was
wearing
sober
that.
that night.
I would wear that every day.
Oh, whatever he ate, it was a bunch of carbs. I'm sure, right?
That's how they look.
Yeah, I
over
forgot what Billy cooked. But
Imagine 300 of those
We-
horses
you have a
charging
full
at
meal.
you. I'd shit myself.
And then when I was
Just
drinking the
screaming,
bourbon, like you would drink
"Kurva!"
off your ass, kinda. But I was like, oh man, I'm still gonna sober, shit, you know. And I had a couple glasses too.
So don't join bands because goddamn these motherfuckers drink, bro. My
Sounds
first
like I could be in a band.
my first band they don't
They
drink.
fit right in.
They don't drink. But my second band, they fucking drink. Every time I'm at band practice, these son of a bitches, man. My bass player, he's like, "Hey, Danny, man, can I get another beer?" And he brings 2 cases every fucking band practice. 2 cases. He almost finishes both of them.
To himself?
Yes, to himself. Yes.
6 Ks, 12 Ks.
They're all Mexican. I
30
love my
Ks.
Mexicans. Don't worry, I love them.
Modelo?
I think it's Corona Extra. or
Surprisingly,
Modelo.
Okay,
No,
One of
I'm
those.
more of a Corona guy, so
Yeah.
that's
Lime or no
awesome,
lime?
dude. I love Corona.
People say Modelo
Gotta
tastes
have the
better
lime.
than Corona.
It depends.
You gotta have the lime, yeah.
You gotta have the fucking lime. If
But goddamn,
no
bro.
lime, Modelo.
I told him I was
With
like, look,
lime,
bro.
Corona.
He's like, look, bro, like because he looks full, like he's like rest in
He's
peace.
like a big stocky dude.
Rest in peace, your friend, man, growing up,
Yeah, Hunter.
Hunter. You know, like
Hunter's like a just big
he
stocky
looks
guy.
like Hunter. He's full all over. He's just
Mhm.
thick all over, thick boy. You know. So, like I said, all those carbs, man, like that. This is gonna make you look, you know, like. And I told him, I was
It's
like, look,
called fluffy.
right, yeah, right. right.
Gabriel
Billy
Iglesias.
kind of fluffy, you know.
I'm not fat, I'm fluffy.
You fucking for real, motherfucker.
Dude, I'll tell you
Fuck
what.
you. I'm not big boned. I'm big back.
Big bag. We got those photos of you, bro, when you sent them.
Dude, I'll tell you
Yeah,
what.
straight carpet.
This is motivation after hours, all right?
Motivation after
That's
hours.
what this is right here.
Yeah, the after action report.
Yeah, after we
Hell
keep
yeah.
having a couple drinks.
I'll tell you what though, if we're talking about weight and alcohol, for the most I've ever weighed in my entire life prior to what I weigh now was about like 160, 70 pounds.
So
somewhere in there.
you always been like the same physique then, right? I
Yeah,
guess,
and then I started working the job I do where I'm not doing much. I cut out cardio completely. I started eating better and a lot more, and then I started going to the gym doing free weights, not machines or anything like that. And I started doing like a lot of free weights, not really cutting back on alcohol because I do like my alcohol,
Yeah, me
and
too.
just eating better. I weighed in at 201 pounds about maybe almost 3 months
that was
ago.
that was Justin's heaviest. I remember, dude.
and it's all in good weight. Like, sure, I got a beer belly, but who gives a fuck about having abs versus a beer
Where?
belly? I'm a
Women.
lot stronger than I used to be.
Yeah.
I'm in a much better shape, not cardio wise.
I mean, you don't look bad though. Like, you know what
Just
I'm
for
saying?
reference, listeners,
this is the
he
most I've-
doesn't have a fucking beer belly. Wait, where?
bro.
Kinda
It's there.
fake.
Yeah, that's
It's
crazy.
there,
All
but
right.
that-
Now you're gaslighting me.
Look,
It-
man.
No, I mean, me too, bro.
Well, all right. So previously,
Shut the fuck up, Isaac.
previous to this, like you could see my fucking ribs, bro. Like I'm just
Yeah.
genetics.
Nothing but ribs and dick.
I've been, yeah, dude. That's where all my meat.
No, that's what he
went
says
too.
to me.
Hmm.
Dog. I don't
That's
know
where all
why.
my weight went. Was
He
between my
gaslights
legs.
me with that dumb shit.
Ribs and dick.
Ribs and
He
dick.
gaslights me with that shit, dude.
But
Pyramid, sign my dick.
but I used to work a lot of blue collar because not only was I in the military, as we've talked about,
Mhm.
but after the military, I went to go work for a demolition company, and it was hard shit. It was a lot of physically demanding. I never have really felt weak in my entire life, but I've never really had the weight because I would always be losing it at work, and I would eat
Yeah.
your 3 meals a day. But since I've been a dad, my wife was telling me just being a dad, you're gonna gain weight, and I guess she's right.
It's true.
Yeah,
I don't know
I've
how it
seen-
happened.
I've seen some couples, man. Even they get together, they double in
Yeah,
size.
even without
Like,
having the
but
kids, they
even
just they
without-
blow
they
up
get
like
too
a balloon.
comfortable.
Dude.
Yeah, they get
She
too
is
comfortable with each other.
maybe
Yeah.
105
It's like they
pounds soaking wet. She
absorb each
lost
other.
that
literally, like
baby
Kirby.
weight immediately.
I want to say to all of you guys and then everyone else listening, being comfortable is not a good thing. It's not a good thing.
No.
dude.
Being
It's not.
comfortable?
No,
Do-
it's not.
Do you know what the Marine Corps used to say?
You have to be Go ahead.
I'm-
Tell
If, sorry to interrupt, but if you want to continue, I'll.
me. No. Tell me that real
Sure.
quick.
The
yeah.
Marine Corps, Sergeant Campbell, one of my drill instructors, to be specific, I say the Marine Corps used to say, but he used to say that comfortability is an illusion.
Mm.
Like, we all convince ourselves that we need to be comfortable
Right.
at all points in time, and if we're not comfortable, then something's wrong.
Right. So the thing that like with humans, like okay, humans like very
Very
basic.
interesting.
You got food, water, shelter. You feel like you're good, but the problem is like how the fuck you gonna grow, man? If you don't go into the uncomfortable zones and you don't try new things and you don't fucking try to strive for things, the only way you can grow is by being uncomfortable in situations. How
Sure.
the fuck are you gonna grow if you always you do
the
this?
same shit.
You do the same
Yeah.
shit. Exactly.
I mean, look at Henry.
You
He was
can't.
thinking about. He
You
told
can't.
us all of us earlier that he was thinking about not even going to the core, but
it was close.
you
It
you
was
went
right.
there. You were
really
uncomfortable,
close.
I'm sure, many fucking times.
Right.
So-
So,
There. Even just making the decision itself to go.
So to go back on that a little bit, this was the first time in my life to where I had a room of my own. I was 18 years old, and for 16 of those years, I shared a room with my brothers. All right.
Damn.
This was the best point in life I have seen at this point in time. And I was thinking about, like, dude, I'm the happiest I've ever been, and I'm about to go fuck that up. So not only was it, like, so hard to go because I was leaving everybody I knew behind to where I knew I wasn't going to see my dad, who's my hero. My dad, I often say to him, here and there, not all the time, but I say everything that's good in me came from you. Because
Damn, that's
my
deep.
mom wasn't the best mom. All right, I didn't get along with my brothers because I was a motherfucking asshole growing up. I had a few friends that I could rely on, and that was about it. And some people don't even have that. And so for me, I was at a point in life to where this is the best days I've ever seen. And I was about to go fuck that up. Dude, it was really, really close. I remember pacing back and forth in my room knowing that in 3.5 hours from now, because couldn't sleep.
damn.
Dude, I could not fucking sleep.
I believe you.
In 3.5 hours, I was going to have to go get in this car, drive over here, go on a bus, go to a place I've never been before, get on a fucking plane to go to another place 3,000 miles away that I've never been before. And the only way I could talk to my family is through letter. And I thought I was going to be able to write letters all the time. When I was there, I remember the shock of being like, it takes me 4 days to finish one letter to send home.
Okay, so I've been waiting to ask you this question.
Sure.
See, they both have asked you questions. So okay, so out of everything you've done, you've been in the all the services you've done. Would you recommend your lifestyle to anybody out there that wants to go join?
That was a good question, Isaac.
It's not.
Because I've been waiting to ask
That
this
is a good question.
Yeah.
That is a good question.
Because a lot of people.
Would you recommend it to people?
Depends on who I'm talking to.
Right, and
Mm.
that's why I want to. That's why
It
I
really
wanna,
does.
That's
yeah.
very interesting.
The question I would ask
Would you
them if they're
recommend
asking
this?
me that, like, hey, should I do this? The question I would ask them is it something you need to do?
Right, because it's not a straightforward question. That's
It's
the thing.
it's not because if you like, if you had, I didn't have a normal childhood, all right, and I'll be very brief about it. Physically abused, kind of severe. DCFS was called on my house more than once. All right.
Me as well. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And growing up in an environment like that, you're not coming out a normal person.
Yeah.
There's going to be stuff you do to protect yourself to where it's damaging. Like me, I wouldn't do shit, bro. Like I would go home, I'd play my video games, and I'd just live my life in whatever Xbox game I was playing.
Yeah.
I would escape, and escaping is not healthy, not all the time.
Yeah. Right. It's not.
And dude, even at that young, I knew I wasn't a normal person. There was a lot of social skills I had to build up. There was a lot of self-discipline that I did not have, things I knew I needed to do, and I would just sit there doing what I wanted to do, not what I needed to do, and feel bad about not doing what I needed to do. So although I was escaping, I wasn't fully enjoying it because in the back of my mind, I knew that I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
So it really depends. Like a lot of the Marines I served with were escaping environments, and it was something they needed to do. All right. Now, if it's a loaded question.
It
that you
really
ask.
is.
It really is.
Yeah.
So I have to answer it on more than just one side. So for my side, for me personally, it was something I knew I needed to do, not what I wanted to do. I knew I had to not be a piece of shit. I knew I needed to get some fucking discipline in my body. I knew I needed to change. There's other people out there that they had great parents. Great parents. People I served with, they had great fucking parents. And dude, there's Marines out there that I served with, or I know everything about how they grew up. I knew their childhood. I just know pretty much everything about them. It's because, where you guys work, you go to work, you see the people you work with, and then you go home and you go to your family.
Yeah.
We went to work with with the people we worked with, and then we go home with the people we worked with.
Damn. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
That's
so
different.
so you go home to your family, your Marine Corps family, and then you go to work with your Marine Corps family. Everything you did was together. So I knew a lot about people's personal lives, and some of the people that were there had great upbringings, just poor, and they were trying to escape that. To like, well, this is a good jump start on my life because my parents can't help me out with affording college or whatever. Now I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna get college free by serving for 4 years, and then I'm gonna go back and go to college and then build my life that way. And then there's people that, this might sound pretty fucked up, but I've seen these people that were what the drill instructors like to call killers. Why are you here? To kill.
Mhm.
There are people out there that want to see fucking war, and I'm pretty sure if they ever have, they regretted it immediately.
Yeah.
Especially after studying a lot of firsthand accounts of people who've seen pretty gruesome combat.
Mhm.
And then you had your people that weren't exactly sure what to do, and they just kind of respect the military, so they went. It's a question you got to answer on all sides, not just mine. So if someone were to ask me, is this something you'd recommend for me? I would tell them the best answer I can give you is only if I knew you. If I know how you are, who you are, what you're about, I can
Right.
give you an answer. And if I don't, I'll give you an example. My best friend Carl, his sister I grew up with, I remember when she was in diapers, right? It's been over 20 years at this point. Her boyfriend, when she got older, was thinking about going into the Marine Corps, and she was like, hey, would you sit down and talk to him about it? And when I did tell, I never sat down and talked to him about it, but what I told her was enough to tell him that, okay, it's not for me. Because there's a massive difference between, this is how I like to put it, and this is not something I coined. I don't remember where I saw it from, but I know it came from somewhere else. This is not something I thought up of. But there's a massive difference between the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, and the Marine Corps. If you're joining the Navy, you become a sailor. You're not, oh, hey, I'm a Navy. No, you are a sailor.
Mhm.
If you're in the Army, I'm not an Army.
You're a soldier.
You're a soldier. I'm an Air Force.
You're an airman.
You're an airman, right?
Right.
I'm a Marine. You don't join the Marines, you become one. It's something that sticks with you through life. Like, there was a study that was saying that Marine Corps boot camp entices PTSD. Just the boot camp. Like, it's fucking intense, dude. Like, there's no way where I can describe it for you to understand. It's an entire different social world. Like, everything had a different name. Like, that went, what would you call that right there? That glass with the wood frame. What would you call
You
that?
should call it a window.
A fucking window. No, that's a porthole.
Porthole.
That's a fucking porthole. What's that TV mounted on?
TV
The
mount.
No, the mount. What's the mounted on? The shit.
A
I
wall.
Oh, wall. No, that's a
Stud.
bulkhead. That's not a fucking wall. That's a fucking bulkhead, right?
Okay, I'm following.
What are you wearing on your face right there over your eyes?
Sunglasses.
Nope, those are called portholes.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the reason for? Do you know the
I
reason for
no,
these?
no, that's you just went to a different fucking world, dude, and you fucking worked there for 4 years. So like, you know, the vibes you guys are giving me, everything that I've seen you guys are about in the episodes that I've seen previously, I'm very comfortable sharing this with you.
Yeah.
But getting
Yeah,
out,
thank you for sharing.
but
really.
getting out of the Marine Corps was one of the tough. Like, joining the Marine Corps, that's fine. Like, it was hard, sure. It
Mhm.
challenged you mentally, physically, and spiritually.
No doubt.
If sure, you could be the biggest guy out there, and if you didn't have heart, you weren't gonna make it. But coming back from someone who's not even seen wartime was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, and I broke mentally, like,
How come?
to where I was not in college anymore. I was working a schmo job, and I was like, dude, I'm ready to just go buy $30,000 worth of land and just build a house and live there and live away from fucking everybody, because I can't do this normal life anymore. It was really, really difficult coming back out of the Marine Corps. and I think I was turning the age of 22 or 23. And honestly, the thing that kept me sane and the thing that, because dude, like, when I got out, one of the first things I did was go attend Justin Fields, the Bears quarterback, former, his first game versus the Dolphins at Soldier Field. And I was driving in Chicago. I used to drive in Chicago quite often. Right. And I just came back home, one of my first times driving, the first time driving home in Chicago. And people were pissing me off, dude, to where I was threatening killing people. Like this dude, like, cut me off and whatever, and we come up on the same red light, and I was like, dude, if you fucking do that shit to me again, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And then, like, that could have been some gangbanger and easily shot me. I don't know who the fuck that was, but I was pissed, dude. Like, I couldn't control that shit anymore, because in the military, in the Marine Corps, that was fine. Like, you could go out and just lay out on a motherfucker. Like, hey, you dumbass, you motherfucker, don't do that shit. You can't do that here. Like, that.
So you're saying it was kind of hard to adjust back to civilian
Everything,
life?
dude. Just like how the windows had a different name, the walls had a different name, your glasses had a different name. Everything was different, and it was just
So
hard
it
being
really
back, dude.
imprinted all of that stuff being there.
It's
on your mind.
So I had a gunnery sergeant that was a drill instructor, and he was not a normal person. Like, he was a drill instructor all the time, and he was our ramp chief or something like that. And I was talking to a certain sergeant of mine, and he was like, well, this is why I'm getting out. It's because this dude's been in the Marine Corps for 12 years now. Can you ever imagine him being a normal person again? And I was like, no. Like, fucking no.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to be a normal person again.
Yeah.
I wanted to be okay with myself. I wanted to be... Just wanted to be a normal fucking person again, so I got out.
What's your definition of a normal person, though?
Everyone
Because
has a different...
that varies between everybody.
right.
Dude, that's a fucking awesome question. It really is. For me, someone who can, not to be cliche, but someone who can sit around with three bros and be able to have a conversation without pissing anybody off, right? I tell our inmates all the time, I'm an asshole, but I'm not unreasonable. I am a fucking asshole, and I don't like pissing people off, and I've pissed off a lot of fucking people. So, kind of back what my dad used to say growing up is, it's not what you say, it's kind of like how you say it. In the Marine Corps, there was no how you say it, it's what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Just being able to function in society with no problem.
So it's almost like you're going from normal everyday society that the majority of viewers and listeners are aware of, that are in, going to almost like you're going through like a wormhole, and just everything is half-ass backwards. Everything is backwards.
Sure.
Everything is completely different. You know,
So
like you were saying, that's not a window. Well, what the fuck is it?
Well, it's like a
It's
whole
a portal.
different, whole different
portal.
world over there.
Right, and you said it's not about
It's not a
how
hat.
you say it; it's what you say.
like
That's different than how society today is preaching.
exactly.
Right.
I went from an
And as
environment.
far as the hat goes,
that-
yeah, that's a cover.
That's a cover.
Yeah.
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 You know that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cover. And you don't wear covers inside, you fucking shitbag. No, I'm just kidding.
I live here.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You know what? Fuck you too, Isaac.
Yeah, you. Hey, go ahead, take that fucking cover off. The fuck you doing?
Not the knife head. No,
But
no.
that-
Absolute disrespect.
Yeah, that goes back to like when this country first started in the 1700s. You know, like you go to court, like you had to take your hat off. Like that's part of like the U.S. tradition.
I don't know where
you
it
know?
came from, but that
It
might be
no,
it.
No, it came from it came from so back in like back in the days, man, like 1700s, 1800s, like they took their hats when they went into the
Went
room.
inside.
When they went inside, like it's a courtesy.
Yeah.
thing. It's like a
Yeah,
So
that's
respect
why
kind.
military men, you have to do it.
when I
So-
was
do
when
you
I
know
was
why
the USA
old-
has carried on traditions since then.
when I was
do you know why old like friars and like monks and like priests would shave the top of their head? They'd have like the fucking just like
Oh
like,
yeah,
the,
they'd have
like
the
the bowl
ring.
going around their head,
Mhm.
but the top of their
Oh,
head
halo.
was
Mhm.
bald. The halo. They were. You could probably say this a little bit better than what I'm about to say, but
Fucking
they're
Halo.
it's their way of giving, fuck yeah, nice. They're showing
I'm a
their
massive Halo
dome
fan, by
to
the way.
God.
I
They're-
got the
they're-
sound
they're-
effects.
right? Like, can you kind of
Yeah,
elaborate
yeah.
on that?
It's kind of like so back then angels were depicted on having a golden ring around their head as a So obviously Jesus would have the crown because he's king, right? And then you have a halo because you're a servant. Even today, we can't have a fucking glowing golden ring over our heads. Like we're just not there technologically. Technology, we don't have that. So they would shave their heads, the top of their heads, and part of having the halo around your head was also being like completely naked. You have nothing to hide from God.
Thank you. That's
because
okay.
all of
Yeah,
your
that's what that
thoughts
was.
are between your ears, right?
Mhm.
Right,
And,
so
if
I
the
think-
top of your ear of your head between your ears is exposed, it's like I got nothing
Yeah.
to hide.
And
Huh.
I think that's where the common practice, the tradition of when you step inside somewhere, you remove your cover, remove
Yeah,
your
you have nothing to
cap.
hide.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
I'm
you
I'm
know.
gonna just go ahead and trust what you guys are saying because that one I really don't.
It's
know where
only
it came from.
speculation, but but it's got to be tied.
It's got to be something
It's gotta be
behind
tied.
respect or showing submission for sure.
So, if anything, we do a multi-kill.
Double kill, triple kill, overkill, kill, tacular.
Good times, boys. Who's got to be up soon?
So
Who's got to be up for 2 hours?
Fuck me.
the
Fuck me sideways.
Okay. So for the sake of Billy to get some sleep, let's try to.
I got work in the morning,
wind-
guys. I know. I'm a fucking loser.
Usually
I
he
can't.
doesn't, but,
No, but we've been going for like a long time.
the schedule had to
how
switch.
long have we been going for? Oh shit, a few hours, huh?
2 hours and 35 minutes.
Cool.
Ooh.
And you can kill out the first 20 minutes. So
Yeah.
Oh no,
so
so yeah,
approximately
no, so
2
no,
hours.
technically 2
Yeah.
hours. Technically 2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the first 20 minutes was just like just
So
behind
the
the scenes.
the one thing I did want to touch upon is
Please.
in whenever if I'm invited back, I had a great time. This is fulfilling enough for me.
Absolutely.
The next time I can probably chime in on it, but the one talking point you did have written down that interested me the most was the leadership and dealing with coworkers
we
and
didn't
all
get
of
to
that. We didn't get to that. If we're wrapping it up
We
here
are.
soon,
we,
that's
we-
fine.
We can say that for you.
We
if
are
you want.
because at the end of every episode, we have our men's mental health topic.
Okay.
So if you weren't familiar with that, those you devout viewers and listeners and followers of us know that at the end of every episode,
Yeah.
we have a men's mental health topic, and this one is a big part why Henry wanted to come on the show today. He had a lot to say about this, and this mental health topic is embracing leadership, and what does it mean to become a leader, and basically what it means to be a great leader. What's it gonna take? Okay. And I'm sure all four of us have different opinions on that.
That's a tricky one.
Yeah.
Henry, you coming from the structure that you did and being in the leadership role that you were, you have firsthand experience.
Yeah.
Me personally, my leadership experience comes from being the man of my family, being the oldest sibling of my family.
Wow.
Having to take care of my younger siblings, stepping up for them, kind of guiding them, and in my career being one of the
Pour some bourbon in this.
being one of the more seasoned and veteran
Like-
officers
Just a little bit.
and helping out the newer younger peers.
Yeah, the
Thank you.
recruits.
I mean, I can't tell you how close I was to making corporal or sergeant at both my old departments. Unfortunate circumstances happened with logistics and geography, but I started back over.
My
But
my
here we are.
take on being a leader is you don't have to be a leader in a leadership position to be a leader.
No.
I really don't think you have to. It's traits. It's not positioning.
Absolutely.
It's just
in,
a title.
in times of crisis and
Yeah.
and
A
incident.
title doesn't make you a leader.
Yeah. No.
Exactly.
I love that. In times of crisis and incident,
In
I can keep a very cool, level head when everyone else around me is freaking out.
that's
losing
powerful.
Their minds.
By the way,
That's
that's
definitely
very powerful.
one trait.
That's
a
kind
leader.
of that's a big part as to why I felt I was so successful.
Oh, that's a lot, but thank you.
That's
Fine. No, this is good. You're good.
Nice. That's a good part of why I felt like I was so successful on the statewide emergency response team, the statewide tactical unit, because I knew, and it's been I've been tried and tried again and again and before, where incidents happen, the worst of the worst happens, crisis happens, and I'm not freaking out. What do I do? What do I do? My first instinct is get there.
Right.
Get there. Just fucking get there. Okay?
Right.
When I'm there, I act immediately.
Yeah.
On the way there, I'm formulating a plan.
Right. Exactly.
Okay? I'm formulating how I'm going to approach this. And
right.
that the variables throw that off
Yeah.
so much because
Yeah.
you don't know what's happening until you get in, until you're at the door or you get into the fray. And things go from sugar to shit
Right. You
real
gotta be
quick.
ready to expect the unexpected, man.
Well,
Yeah.
what I like to say is you can plan all you want, but then life happens.
yeah.
Yeah, you can have a
Yeah.
plan for getting punched in the face, but when you get punched in the face, you're probably going to forget the plan you fucking had.
Not even that is
Yeah.
just, you can formulate your plan, but once you get there, it's not what you formulated, right? You got to adapt and overcome.
Quick on your feet.
Quick on
Yeah.
your feet. Think about it,
Yeah,
right?
Right. You gotta be witty,
So
you gotta
for
be
me,
quick.
any stressful situation I have been in, and I've been in more than a few, I kind of turn off the thinking part of my brain and just react. It's instinct at that point.
Fight or flight kicks in, huh?
Yeah, and it's for me. It's never been like either fight or flight. It's been just act. What am I doing here?
Survive.
Sure.
Right.
I guess so.
It's a primal instinct.
Right. So that fight or flight, for lack of a better terms, just a general description of what I'm trying to talk about, that'll kick in. And I won't remember the thoughts that I think. I really won't. So, and for me, I don't know if this is a personal thing or if this is everybody, but it kicks in very easy. Very fucking easy, that shit kicks in for me. So, last week, there was an individual that didn't want to lock down in his pod, and he pissed me off, and so that's not the reason why I called the response, but I called the response like master, send me the ERTs, I got a refusal to lock down, and then fight or flight kicked in. Like, just I could feel that adrenaline running through my body. I was in no danger, but it still kicked in.
Those of you that aren't aware, that adrenaline dump, it's so surreal when shit hits the fan.
And if you got nowhere to put that adrenaline, it's gonna go to your knees. And for me, like, my knees might like vibrate a little bit, not shake, but vibrate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like in this like super like hyped up. I'm just wired, dude. That's the best way I can explain it. I'm wired. Like, I'm ready for anything at this point.
The first time I ever got attacked while I was at work, I was breaking up a fight, and the fight turned into a one-on-one. They turned on me.
That's horrible.
And it was just me and like 60 other crooks, dude. And they're, it's a dorm setting, so no one's in their cells. It's just we're out in the open, right?
Like Noir or W dorm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And that was that experience really changed, honestly, my entire life. I fought because I knew help was on the way.
Right.
You know,
You didn't have to win. You had to make it until a certain point in time.
Yeah, and I knew that to my back was 60 other dudes, and I'm the odd one out. So at that point,
You're the only one that looks different.
They fucked you up.
What the fuck's that got to do with it?
So it fucked me up mentally more than
They
physically.
fucked you up.
Got a few licks in. Hey, I didn't lose, but I don't necessarily consider that I won either. I just got through it, right?
Right.
But that adrenaline dump,
You did win because you walked away.
yeah,
That's what it's
Yeah.
about, right?
it's about going home at the end of the day, no matter what it takes.
Yeah, that's a win for me, dog.
That was Survival Billy.
So I'll never forget it. I got dude pinned up against the wall. He's actively trying to get me off of him. We're tussling, And as soon as I'm about to try and take him down to the ground, here comes a sea of blue running in.
Hell yeah.
Sea of blue.
You hear the keys jingling?
Yep, the keys were jangling. You hear screaming, and I'm just so tunnel visioned on this guy because my instinct is he's going to kill me.
Damn.
He's going to kill me. Whether that was his intention or not, he was going to cause great bodily harm to me, and that affected me going home to my family.
Right.
And I didn't hesitate, not one bit.
Yeah. For me,
It was survival.
how I like to describe it is that's what you do for work. And what I say is I reserve the right to go to work and not be assaulted to the point where I am injured.
Absolutely. Correct.
A reception doesn't have to worry about getting fucked in the face with some fists or kicks or anything like that.
No.
Like, we go to work. I am a firm believer of reserving the right of not being assaulted for my job. If I do, then all right, it's on, right?
Yeah.
So most recently, the closest I've ever been to being attacked, and it was more of like a feeling, like an instinct feeling. I don't know how to describe it, but I like knew the situation I was in. I knew I was in danger. It was a certain individual that has had numerous attacks on staffs in the past, and I'll be completely honest. I was doing accountability of that pod, making sure all the inmates of that pod was there, and I do it by quarter tiers. So like, there's bottom floor and top floor, and I'll get
it's
accountability
split
of these
floors.
guys. Yeah, I'll get accountability of these guys. I'll be like, all right, gentlemen, lock it up. And then I got accountabilities of these guys, and I was like, all right, gentlemen, you're good. Go ahead, lock it up.
He's
And
conducting a head count.
Head
for
count.
You guys that don't know.
Yeah, and there was two individuals in the last cell to my right on the top floor that weren't locking it up after I told them to. And I was like, gentlemen, go ahead, close your door with you inside it. And then one of them was like, all right, well, I didn't hear you. And I was like, yes, you did. I know how to project my voice. You fucking heard me. He was like, but he was like, oh, I didn't hear you. I was like, yes, you fucking did. Close it up. He was like, all right, whatever, goofy. And I look at him and I go,
Yeah,
I
of
don't give a
course, I know.
fuck what your uneducated ass has to say.
Of course.
Fuck you.
Pretty much what I said to him, but more elegantly. I straight up told him, I was like, I don't give a fuck what your uneducated ass has to say. Because you're not going to talk like that and then convince me you're educated, all right?
Exactly.
So, and then right after that head count of shift change, you let them out for about 45 to 50 minutes from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. But, you know, head count, inventory, shift change takes about 10 minutes. So it's about 50, 45 minutes. As soon as I let him out, you do another head count. I let him out. He comes running down to my desk, and he goes, "What'd you mean by uneducated?" And I was like, you called me goofy. I called you uneducated. It, like, maths itself out, right? That's why I said what I said. And he goes, no. But what'd you mean by that, though? And I'm kind of like,
Seems pretty self-explanatory to me.
exactly. And I don't know if he was trying to get like some like oh, I said that because he's a different. No, I didn't say that for any other reason because you called me goofy.
Bruh.
And then and him and I are kind of like locking eyes, and I go, all right, dude, if it bothered you that much,
Right. He's making this.
here's what I can do for you. I can give you a fucking tablet and you can grieve it, meaning you can report me essentially.
Right.
And then he comes over to the side of my desk to where it's open. There's no barrier besides a yellow line on the floor between me and him. And he goes, "No, I don't do grievances. That's not how I solve my problems." So, this guy's about my size. It'd be about a 50-50 shot, right? And after being a father, I don't take 50-50s. I take everything or nothing, right? So there's a mag light. There's a mag light under our desk in case the power went out.
Which
and
is a big-ass flashlight,
it's
by
a
the way.
big fucking flashlight. So I go over to
Like
the
one of the dildo
flashlight.
ones.
Yeah.
Big ass
Dude,
horse dick.
bigger. It's huge. So I go over to the mag light and I grab it from underneath the desk, and I'm like, then how do you solve your fucking problems? And I'm just kind of holding it, and we're just staring at each other. He doesn't say a word. I don't say a word. I'm looking at him. He's looking at me, and before this, I was kind of like, dude, this might happen, right? And that's why I had the fucking mag light, because, dude, I'm a dad, dude. I'm going home no matter what. And if I have to justify my use of the mag light, if I have to argue that, then I'm going to. And if I get in trouble, then I get in trouble. Legally, whatever. At least I'm going home at the end of the day. That was what was important to me. And it was like 15 seconds of silence. And then in my head, I was like, just be the bigger man. Right? I wasn't scared. I wasn't like, dude, I had a mag light, dude. If you get hit on the side of your head with a fucking mag light, I don't care how big you are, you're done. All right? So, like, I kind of knew I had the upper hand.
That still fucked me up.
How old is your kid, man? Is it
He's about 6 months old now.
man?
Yes, he's a new father.
Boy,
Congratulations. Henry.
Thank you. I appreciate it. He's
Congratulations.
awesome. He's half Asian
Boy.
and half of me, and he's the cutest kid. He's really good looking. He's going to break some hearts later on, and I'm going to show him how to not do it like an asshole, right? He's not going to be out there being a player. He's going to be a good man. Well, that's what I'm going to dedicate my life to.
Awesome.
But
Good to hear.
so I break the silence and I look at him and I go, "All right, dude. If what I said bothered you that much, I'm sorry." Kind of like I wasn't genuine about it. I was kind of like
Of course not.
motherfucker. Like, I'm sorry. Okay.
Go fuck yourself.
Right. And then he goes, "I'm sorry too. Apology accepted," and just like goes away.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, dude,
Weird standoff.
it was honestly really weird, but he's also not a normal individual. Later on, I'll tell you who it was. I'm pretty sure you already know.
I know.
Yeah, I think I told you about this. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, behind the scenes, yeah.
Yeah, dude. Well, I mean, I don't want to get jammed up for something stupid, right? Not that I would by what I did. I could have had that flashlight for any reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe that guy in his cell over there, which there was, had his light covered, and I had to do the security check. I'm going to shine my flashlight in there, right?
Yeah, right.
But I had it there just in case. He's a few inches shorter than me, but I wasn't taking any chances. I had my fucking mag light ready to go.
God forbid you ever have to use it.
Dude, like I said earlier, I reserve the right to not go to work without
Man, he would been
being endangered
He would been wasted.
from another human. Now going to work and doing a dangerous job, like inherently, like oil
Like
rigging,
UFC or something, let's say even too.
or even
You're
that,
going
where
there
you
to get your
expect
ass
it.
beat,
or like my dad. My dad was a lineman for ComEd for about 20 years.
your teammate got their ass kicked.
Dude, I love that thing. By the way, I kind of want one just to play with it. Like, not even for like it.
Yeah. It was like what, $200? Yeah, on sale.
Took
Yeah.
us fucking 3 hours.
Dude,
put
don't
some
tell me
shit
how
on
much
that.
it costs because I might buy it.
We spent a whole night putting
Yeah.
that together.
It took hours. and
Giving you
hours.
ideas with put up.
Yeah, they say, hey, look this up. Look this up. I looked it up and I posted on there. Yeah, I put it. Nigga, this
Dude.
can do a lot. This can do a lot. This can do 250 sounds.
That thing's perfect. All right, like what's that one meme? It's perfect. Down to the last minute detail.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. Like,
American Psycho with Christian Bale.
Yeah.
yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. But to wrap up what I was saying, I reserve the right to do my 9 to 5. It's 3 to 11, but my 9 to 5 without being
Yeah.
under threat of physical
Mhm.
violence.
So you could say that's a great leadership quality that you had, is to ensure that you had to show up for the people you're responsible for at the end of the day.
From a
whatever-
family perspective, yes.
Whatever the cost it took.
Yep.
And to take it to one step further, my dad grew up without a dad because he died. So
Damn.
all right, I'll try to be quick about it. Right, my dad was a lineman for ComEd for a long time, and his father was too. And his father died on the job from a heart attack.
Oh,
Just
shit.
at like 44. It's a heart condition my family has. Modern medicine makes it doable, right? Probably by the time I'm 40, I'm going to have to start taking medications for it. It's hereditary. And that's fine, right? But my dad was 11 when my father passed away, which statistically is the age that where you stop needing your mother as a young man and need your father. Right when he started to need a father, he wasn't there because he passed away. And my dad had to learn how to be a man without a father, which he somehow did. I said it earlier, my everything that's good in me came from my father. Everything.
Yeah.
Everything that's good about me came from him. And he had to learn how to do it on his own. Like, dude, that's fucking crazy. And not that I'm speaking bad about him, but being a man myself who did grow up with the father, I see how that has affected him even as a grown man today. To where, like, yeah, he probably wouldn't be that way if he did that. It's not his fault. Some people will be out there with hardened hearts and go, well, that's not an excuse. Yes, it is. Because you didn't live it, you don't understand it. It's a fucking excuse. If you got, everyone's got their flaws, and if his flaws are because he didn't grow up with the father, that's pretty fucking excusable if you ask me. We want to talk about men's mental health. The best thing you could do for a man's mental health is ensure he grows up with a solid father figure.
Right. And that's something we were talking about earlier, and that's super important, man.
Like-
That's really a deal breaker for a young guy, especially young, girls as well. Like,
Yeah, you need a solid father and mother
man,
figure.
these girls, man, like, like you see the bad girls out there that are like sluts and doing this and that. Like
They always got some family issues.
it's always like, oh, and I've come across them. They're like, oh yeah, my daddy was this and that. He was a piece of shit. Like,
I used to
it's
ask the strippers too, man.
detrimental,
Yeah,
man.
I'll
It
tell 'em
You're a
the same
grown
shit.
ass
Yeah.
person at this point. Why is this? Why are you still doing what you're doing if that wasn't in your childhood?
I guess it's
You
sta-
can
I
break
guess,
things
I
over
guess,
the
I guess
course
it's
of time.
stained. I guess
Or
it's
you can
stained,
choose
man.
to hold on to.
Well,
I feel like
that
some
shit.
things can be permanent, though.
You know,
man.
to the women's credit, I lived in South California for a while, and I'm pretty sure the four of us recognize that South California is kind of like a cesspool. All right, like a lot of sin goes on there.
I feel like everywhere though.
I've met a lot of women in South California that I was interested in or trying to be interested in, just figuring what they're about, and a lot of them had father issues, and it
Right.
really affected how they
It
were
really does.
as young women.
It really kills women more than it kills men.
Because
dude.
they're looking for validation that they never got from their father,
right,
and they'll,
right,
and they'll,
exactly,
and they'll
right.
take
And
it from
chase
anybody.
They'll chase it from anybody.
from
right,
from your
exactly.
because as much as you guys and even me without a platform like you guys have, I advocate for being a strong man.
Right,
I really do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
You got to, dude. Like,
you know, strong men doesn't just help young men; it helps young women too.
right.
Like if I like my next child, I want to be a daughter because I thoroughly believe that through God and what I believe in, and just everything I've been through in life, that I am well equipped to deal with raising a daughter. Because
Good.
it's way different than raising a man. You need
It is.
like your daughter's first crush should be you. I know that's weird.
It sounds weird, but no. As a
not
father of
what you
a son
exactly
and a daughter,
Right.
I understand that.
You have a daughter.
Yes.
Your daughter's first crush. You
Right.
should be a man
Because they
that
look,
you are okay with
they look
your
at
daughter
men,
marrying.
They look
Yes.
at men what they see in their dad usually.
and if
That's
and
why
if,
a lot of toxic
and if you're standing
relationships-
there,
We are the examples
As a father of a
what
daughter.
they need in their
right?
life.
Yes.
If you're gonna be a father
Right.
of a daughter and you're like, I hope my daughter marries a man better than I am, you're just like every other father. But if you're a piece of shit and you say that, like you're selling your daughter short. You're setting her up for
Yes.
failure.
Yeah,
you need to
right.
be the
You have
example
to,
of
dude.
what she needs, of what she should be looking for in a man.
Dude, like that's the thing, man. I don't care. I don't like.
Yeah, and if their dad's a piece of
Like,
shit, they're
you
gonna
know,
go after a shitty man.
I'm not
Exactly.
a. I'm not a
That's
father.
literally what they
'cause
do.
that's
a
what
lot
they're
of them
used to.
do.
I'm not a
Yeah.
father, but I know you guys are, and like I want you guys to know, man. Like, forever do one day, but like you guys need to really fucking like do everything you can to the best of your ability, because they really, 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 man, like they really like. Like, they're gonna remember everything you did with them. They're gonna remember everything, all the fun times, everything, dude. They're gonna remember all.
And
that.
we're not gonna remember half of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Being their father.
But I remember, and you remember, and you remember. You know, they're gonna remember, man. And you have to fucking.
I
Make
remember
sure you
my
do
dad
all
growing
that,
up, yeah.
dude. You
then
know?
my kid's gonna remember me.
But
when
they're
he's
gonna remember. They're
yeah.
gonna remember like how they judge their dad. They're gonna remember they're gonna remember when they grow up. They're gonna remember. They're gonna like remember you. They're gonna judge you. You know, and like you gotta really like think about that, man. You know, and Make sure you do the best you can. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying.
Children were not meant to be raised
So-
by one parent.
No.
either. It is a two-person job.
it
but
is.
No, it's
society-
completely a two-person job.
Society has normalized raising children with one
is.
parent.
Financially,
for-
they've even encouraged it,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Right.
that's the shittiest fucking part about
Right.
it.
For
That's what sucks.
for the sake of
The
your
more-
own
the more-
personal happiness, you have to sacrifice when you become a parent.
Everything.
And that sacrifice does come at the cost of some selfish happiness, but that selfish happiness
You
is
find
what
that-
is being absorbed right now and is being amplified to say, hey, you need self-care. Well, that self-care is being masked. It's being masked by deception. No, going out, partying, clubbing, and not being locked down to one man, that's not self-care. That's just being selfish. But that's normalized by society now. And the child is
Yeah.
paying the ultimate cost
Yes,
for it.
That's the
That was
sad
me.
part, dude. That's the sad part about
That
it.
I'm sure that was more than just me. Maybe it was even some of you guys. But you know, like,
Sad part.
I'm gonna say right now, my mom's a changed woman. I am not speaking bad about her.
Yeah.
But you know, we all have our flaws, and she decided
Right.
to seek out other men other than my father, and because that what was best for her. But as a mother, in her early 30s, she should have understood that it's not what's best for her; it's what's best for her kids, and what's best for her kids is having a two-parent household. And it's by the grace of God that I've come out the way I have. My older brother has come out the way he has. My twin brother has come out the way he has. Growing up in a broken home that we did with all the bullshit that went on, that we are three good men in this world. And that's like,
And you
like
were
earlier you were talking about, like, if you could reach one person, dude, every good man and good woman you can add to the world is a fucking win, because there's so many out there that are not.
No, like,
People
okay, so
like
like
you
you say,
agree.
there's things that you're not happy with about your mom, and there's things that I'm not happy with about my mom as well, you know. And
Sure.
one day I'm gonna tell her like how I really feel. I will one day, you know.
Right.
So,
I just want to say, people like us here, you know, Henry, you specifically, because you just talked about it. You guys weren't, you know, born and became what you are. You guys were forged by what you
Yeah.
went through.
That's the exact word I was thinking.
so
about.
so men aren't born. Men have to become, you know.
Women have to become too.
Yeah. Well, I really, especially for men though, because like men,
I agree.
men aren't.
It's different.
Men have to become. Like men aren't like you don't.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know if I'm not. Maybe I'm not getting the right phrase out right now, but
That's
Do
what I'm
you
asking.
mind
yeah.
if I? Because I agree with you. Do
No,
you,
yeah.
Do you mind if I kind of answer
you
that?
might, yeah, you guys might get my gist, but yeah, go ahead.
So-
yeah,
So, I'm not saying men have it harder. We have it different. And
yeah, men and women are different. Yeah.
in me as a man, I would rather. Looking at a woman, it seems a lot easier. All right, but it's
From our perspective, yeah.
from our
absolutely.
perspective, because we are built to withstand more. They're not.
Right. Yeah. That's
And-
100%.
and-
That's 100% true.
And there are women out there that have gone through hell and back.
right.
Like, dude,
Sure.
there's young girls out there that grew up as sex slaves and shit like that.
Mhm.
That's
Right,
way
right.
worse than what I've been through.
Right.
They didn't choose that.
And they didn't choose
were
that.
trafficked as a young child and
Right,
brought
right.
into
Yeah.
that
So
lifestyle.
they're
That's
mentally,
covers-
mentally like just fucked.
Or the R word.
That's covering the
Shit like that
extreme.
is fucked up.
Because
Yeah,
a lot of
right.
people want to argue the extreme, but the average, the day-to-day,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
The civilian, the
men are built to withstand more,
Yes.
and women are not.
Right.
Like
That's
my
why the
my
men always
wife,
went out to war
my-
historically over
Right.
civilizations.
That's why the
Right.
women stayed home.
my
for a
wife
reason.
is a strong
Yes.
fucking woman. All right, like you two don't know, and I'm comfortable enough to say it because I often say, you die twice. You die when you leave your spirit leaves your body, and then you die when the last time someone speaks your name.
Damn.
Okay.
That's a good one, man.
All right. My kid is not my first kid. Our first child died. All right, so I'm going to speak about him because he's not dying that second time for a while, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
All right. My wife is a very strong woman, but when our son is brought up, she will go to tears almost instantly. And for me, even if I wanted to, I couldn't. Because us as men, we are just built to withstand more.
Yeah. Right.
So it is just as hard for her it is me, but she shows it more than I do.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be sexist or just say men have it harder. No, we're built different.
Yeah.
We are built to withstand more. It's not like no one gives a fuck. You're going to work the next day, right? I'm not speaking a foreign language,
Absolutely.
No.
Yeah.
right? You guys, you as men know what I'm talking about. Oh, some fucked up shit happened. Tough shit. You have work the next day. Get your ass up and go to the fuck to work.
Exactly.
All right. My wife, when she was working, it was I need a mental health day, and then her boss, also a woman, okay, take a mental health day. Dude, if I call in and be like, hey, sir, I need a
Oh,
mental
you'd be
health day.
spat on.
Dude, you're going to get counseled. Dude, I was sick as shit. Like 104 fever with the influenza A. And I ran out of sick time because the week
Well, you
previous,
had Billy.
he added the same
I
shit
didn't
too.
have it as
It's
bad as him.
That's what I'm saying,
fucking
Billy.
horrible,
If you don't
dude.
want to go to work, like at least try to
But-
get some rest.
But here's the
I'm
thing,
surprised you
right?
got the days off you did.
Here's
Yeah,
the
no
thing.
shit, me too.
The week prior, I had the norovirus. Just like that, there
The
goes
new
all
COVID.
Yeah, I mean, I lost my voice the last.
It's pretty
Right.
much it's
Yeah.
pretty much like fucking food poisoning. It's horrible.
Well, fucking
So-
shit and piss and
So I got the
Throwing up.
norovirus, and then I got influenza A. And I ran out of sick time, and I had to use a sick day that was unexcused. I got counseled for it. My work didn't give a shit, dude.
Yeah.
All they saw is you ran out of sick time.
Right. Exactly.
Now I got to hold you accountable
They saw
for it,
numbers. Yeah.
dude. Like,
now that's going to create overtime, and that's my problem, not the fact that you're sick. They don't care. We're just numbers. We just fill in roster spots.
exactly. And women in our same profession have to suffer the same fate. But in other professions, because most women work your reception jobs,
Right.
the child care jobs, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
They really do. You can look at the numbers.
Yeah. They
um,
gravitate to that kind of
It's
stuff.
way more easier for them to be not accounted for, accommodated for. That's the word I'm looking for. And it all circles back to me saying that not one or the other have it harder. If anything, if the reason why we have so many shitty women nowadays is because we have so many fucking shitty men
Yes.
nowadays.
Exactly. Yes.
That's what we've been
Absolutely.
saying, bro.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
You heard
Like,
it here.
Like it's
Nail on the
Someone
head.
else.
Yep.
because
That's what it is.
dude, that's I don't know about you two gentlemen, but I'm a firm believer of the big man upstairs. All right.
I am.
I'm a firm believer. I will argue it to the death. And Coffee over here, he's one of the strongest men I've ever met in my entire life. And the time he spent at the gym, I spent studying my Bible, right? So I will argue it to the death. Coffee has heard me ramble about this shit numerous of times. Yeah.
And I'll just sit there
And what the
and
Bible
listen
says is
like it's a sermon.
the man is the religious leader of the household. So it's fucking our fault that we have so many shitty women nowadays.
Yes.
Women that are
absolutely,
not
yes,
faithful,
absolutely.
that won't submit. Because submitting is not nowadays is looked at as negatively.
Yep.
My wife and I used to have a ton of problems.
You get it, man. You get it.
She would give me all the problems in the world. I would come home from a shitty fucking day at work at a job I hated, and I would just want to escape playing my video games. All my tasks were done for the day, even at the household.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm going to go play my video games. And she would be like, but you're not spending time with me. And she would cause me all the problems in the world. Like, I put a hole in the fucking drywall because she gave me so much stress and anger, right? Because I was never going to hit her, right? I was going to hit the fucking wall besides her, right? It wasn't even close. And then the one day I just had enough. And I sit my wife down, my wife now, my girlfriend at the time, and I go, this is what's going to happen. I wear the pants in the relationship. You're going to do what I tell you. We're going to be a team. And if you don't like it, there's the fucking door.
Damn.
That's what I tell women nowadays.
Yep.
And
A lot
and
of them
she,
take the
they
door.
can't fucking do that.
and she stayed and she let me lead. And being a, not to toot my own horn, but being a good
No, yeah,
man,
yeah.
worthy of leadership of a
Yeah.
household, that's a good thing for her.
Right, because in that moment you proved yourself.
It's kind of like you're not being oppressed. Like I personally like Trump.
Me
I'm
too.
gonna leave.
We all do.
I'm gonna leave.
We all do. Don't worry.
I'm
bro.
gonna leave my political views and trust Trump with them,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna be happy because he's gonna do what I want him to do.
Yeah.
That's who I am to my wife. I'm gonna do what she wants me to do. and she doesn't even have to ask, right? I understand where I have to step in to where I am needed, and I'm going to make the decisions that's not best for me but best for her. And having someone lead above you that's going to make the best decision for you and not themselves is nothing but a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And dude, that's funny because leadership is one of our topics.
Like
So that's what we're talking about right now, brother.
You're right.
I think that's
and
one of the good traits. Being
and
a leader.
a lot of modern women will look at, well, I'm submitting to man. That's horrible. I'm it's like if you
no, you're just a fucking grown up like the rest of us.
right. If you're gonna submit to a man,
Yeah.
you better do it to a man who's worthy submitting of, and that's the other half of it. There's
are
now you three gentlemen, if you've enjoyed what I've said so far about this topic, I encourage you to look at The Young Man in the Mirror. It's a series. I believe it's on audiobook now, but it's pretty much showing you how to be a man. And part of that series, it tells you not to show your woman. Because your woman's it's not gonna shit they don't like. It's your woman's gonna see it and be like, and then hold you accountable to it. Well, this says this. Why aren't you doing this? It's shit they like, right? It's called The Young Man in the Mirror. They did another one. When your son gets older, I encourage you putting him on it. It's The Young Boy in the Mirror when he was about 12, 13 years old. It's
halfway there.
right. I saved it on my laptop. It took me a while to figure out because I suck at technology, but I saved it on my laptop just in case it ever goes away. It's so good to where I'd be able to show it to him even if it doesn't exist anymore because I got it saved to my fucking laptop. And just to harp on it again, it says don't show your wife this, don't show your girlfriend this, because part of women nature is being emotional, and if they're mad, they're gonna explain why they're mad and then make it your fault. So you're not yeah. You're
That's a narcissistic twist.
Yeah,
that's manipulation.
women are very good manipulators.
They are.
That's a survival mechanism.
Men find
exactly.
Men find it physical.
Yes.
Women find it
It
mental.
really is. It
Yes.
really, really is, and that's not even being sexist about it.
No, it's straight truth.
Every
Women find it mental.
I'm not proud of this, but I've been with a lot of women. I've been with a lot of different girls. I've looked for my wife for a long time. I've always dated to marry. And so often have I found women doing what's best for them rather than what's best for their man. And that's just kind of the nature of things. So they're always going to do what's best for them. And then once you
Or
find a
what they
woman
think
that's going to do what's best for her kids or what's best for you, that's a woman worth marrying. That's what I like to call a high value woman. Someone, a woman who doesn't put themselves first, and that's how a woman can be a strong leader, and that's how us men define a strong leader as someone who doesn't put themselves first.
Right, exactly.
That's the woman you want to marry, in my experience. If you like something else, dude, God gave you free will, run with it. If you like something else, please do something else. But if you think like I do, the woman that does what's best for somebody else and not herself
Absolutely.
is a woman worth marrying, and that's a high value woman.
That 100%.
And if you're a high value man and you marry a high value woman, you're going to produce high value children, and that's just what's best for the world. Like
No,
that
it definitely is.
I said it earlier. Every man you can add to the world that's a good man is a fucking win. Every good woman you can add to the world is a fucking win. Because we're in a world right now, I remember 10 years ago when just people were better.
Yeah.
We're in a world right now where there's a ton of shitbags. You don't believe me? Go drive in fucking Chicago and see how courteous people are.
Bro,
Go drive in downtown Joliet and see how fucking courteous people are.
I work in Joliet.
Drivers now are fucking ridiculous, dude. Yesterday, our sheriff of Will County, Mike Kelly, there's three people that was driving
put that in place left and right.
They were driving a Model 3 Tesla, just driving fast because it's a fucking Tesla. They didn't have care. It's a miracle they didn't hit anybody else. But they were driving at high rates of speed. They wrecked out when there was a bend in the road. One person died because one motherfucker wanted to drive like a retard.
You know what?
Like
Every time.
Tom and Brad were over earlier, and Tom was telling me about that.
Yeah, dude. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
like if you don't believe what I'm telling you
No,
about people nowadays,
trust me,
just
I know.
pay attention to the drivers out there. People will do anything they can to get one car ahead.
Well, yeah, no, they do, yeah. Like,
And me being a motorcycle rider,
yeah, which
you know,
is-
my first year was last year. Okay.
Sure.
right.
Really changed my perception on
yeah,
people
I'm
and
sure it
driving.
did.
It changes
Yeah.
how I drive my car.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I bet.
I can't tell you how many times I've almost been clipped, driven off the road, slammed into. Just because people aren't paying attention, you know,
Exactly.
they're in it for themselves. Everyone's, you know, on their phone, and then they look up at the last second, and it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's
right?
what happened in my car.
Yeah.
Well, my other
Yeah,
one.
you
And
were
it-
turning left into your parking lot, and somebody just smacked. Your
Yeah,
fuck-
because
oh.
someone she was on her phone,
And if
Yeah,
you were
I remember that one.
so it
if
hit
you were
the
on a
car
bike-
behind me, which then hit my car, slammed in that shit.
And if you were on a bike, you'd be fucking dead, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like-
I rode before,
Right, 'cause
And that's the risk
and
I
not for
take
very long.
being a rider.
right, because
but-
like if
Yeah,
you get a
'cause-
car, like you're in a cage, pretty much, you know. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
You're in
You're on a bike,
like,
so
you're
it's just
open.
you, bro.
It's
and
just you.
Yep.
speaking
off the road.
mechanically, right?
No matter how much protective gear I wear, and I wear the full face helmet, I
Mhm.
wear Kevlar and padded
Yeah,
shirts.
but you're not
and
wearing an
jackets.
airbag, bro.
I wear
Yeah.
jeans. I wear.
You're not wearing a
boots,
steel
I wear,
cage.
I wear
Yeah.
gloves. You hit the pavement going 30, 40, 50, 60 plus miles an hour.
Your skin's going down
It's
to your
gonna
bone.
help, but you're still gonna get fucked up or worse.
Yeah,
Either way,
it's,
that's why I was so scared riding, because
Right, he didn't like
that
he didn't
shit.
like
Other
doing it, man.
drivers, other people.
Yeah.
Dude,
you know?
my analogy with the drivers on the road and just how people are nowadays, when I really think about it, dude, I'm a man. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna whatever. But it breaks my fucking heart to see how the world is nowadays. People
Me
don't
too,
give a shit
man.
about
Me
people
too.
anymore.
Yeah.
Like, dude, the one time I don't even know.
Integrity
what
is
pissed-
gone.
Yeah, and integrity is huge. What I like to say is accountability. No one wants to take account. Well, it's not my fault because of this. This
Mhm.
happened, so it's not my fault, dude. If you want to be a fucking man, own up to your mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
Like,
Take responsibility.
take
for
responsibility.
Others' mistakes that you're responsible for. That's what being a leader is.
Right, 'cause
Right?
what a fucking bitch ass dude
That's
does.
that's
he,
part of being
he
a leader.
flips the gun on someone else.
I'll give you a
Fuck
quick
that dude,
story.
man.
A quick story because I can make a story go long. But on my birthday, it was February 10th. On my birthday in 2020, I was picking up off of someone else's job to where I had to pull a heavy ass part from an AAV. It was an HSU, hydraulic static steering unit, hydrostatic steering unit. Excuse me. And I was finishing the job for someone, and I don't know why. I think they wanted someone who had more experience with the crane than the people that were doing it. So I pulled this part. I didn't realize there was a stud still in there, and I fucking snapped the HSU crane. That's $54,000 fucking dollars. I broke $54,000 worth of shit on my birthday, and I was like, man, this is the fucking worst birthday ever. I got pulled into the office, and I was like, well, you know, if you want to dime me out, sure. Like, yeah, I broke it. I did fucking break it.
I remember I used to weld like this one welder. He fucking sank a ship, $350,000 ship. He sank that bitch to the fucking
That's
ocean.
horrible.
Yeah,
That's-
that was
dude,
funny
that's-
as shit, dude.
Dude,
he got
but
that because like they were rushing him and like he didn't weld it fast enough, and they fucking sank to the bottom of the fucking lake.
But-
They wasted $350,000.
what I'm saying,
It was
that's
funny
a
to
lot
see
of money, by
it
the
was
way.
it was funny to
That's
see
a
that
big
fucking-
fuck up.
to see
I
that
thought my
ship-
fuck up was
ship
big.
sink,
That's a
yeah.
big fuck up.
Yeah, right. But he didn't get fired though because it was their fault.
He broke apart. This motherfucker sank all ship.
See, for me, it was my fault, though.
Yeah.
And I'll say it to this day.
But he took accountability for
I
it.
did. I didn't say, well, he broke it or he didn't take off the. No,
Well, I didn't really sleep that much
was the
last
most-
night, so I broke the piece.
that is one of the arguments I made. I was like,
Really?
if you want to NJP me, you can fucking NJP me. But at the same time, I was at work for the last 26 hours or whatever fucking number it was.
Mm.
It was definitely above 18 hours.
That's damn.
So I was sleep deprived and I was at work and I didn't fucking notice it. And it's a 9/16 nut. It's real small. Like, and there's 14 of these nuts that go on these studs, and I just didn't notice the one, and it broke. But it, you know,
we're human at the end of the day. We all make mistakes.
And I was prepared to accept the consequences for the mistakes, and
That's part of being a man.
and a lot of people do not want to take accountability, and shifting that to when we were talking about men and women, the biggest problem with women I see is they don't want to take accountability.
No, never.
They don't.
Usually,
It's
never.
always like what? This is why I cheated. It doesn't matter why you cheated. You still fucking cheated, you whore.
Justification of cheating.
Break up with the fucking dude first,
Is
and then go be a whore.
Mad.
Don't crush it. Don't tear his soul apart, right? Don't. Because what do we got as men? What is our number one tool?
Tell me.
Fucking confidence. Confidence. If you're a man and you don't have confidence, good luck trying to get anything fucking done. Especially in a timely manner or in the workforce in a timely manner to where you need to get it done. Like, and this is something I struggled with growing up. When I was in the workforce early on in the Marine Corps, I'd ask my maintenance chief or whatever, to check up on what I was doing. And I was so, like, precise. I had to be perfect. And by the time I was done, because at that time I understood if I do something wrong, someone can get fucked up, like, physically. Give you a quick story, and I believe I told you this one yesterday. Yeah. Some guy went to go put on a D-ring on a ramp. So AAVs have ramps that go down, and there's a hydraulic cylinder that powers it for going down and up, and a wire cable that's connected to the fucking hydraulic cylinder that pushes it down. Infantry units run out, and they disperse, and they get online, and then the ramp raises.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the ramp don't work because the hydraulics are fucked up. So you have this D-ring, so you can have a wire jack, like a where it, like, jacks it up. Somebody replaced that D-ring and just didn't take the extra 10 seconds of threading in like 3 or 4 threads. So that's like taking a ratchet and going, okay, next bolt, next bolt, and then that's it. That D-ring fucking snapped off and hit someone in the mouth and lost all their fucking teeth.
What the fuck?
All their fucking teeth.
Yeah.
It was like summer teeth. Some of them are over there, and some of them are over there. Dude,
Summer
like, you like that? But a 25-second fix costed someone to go get dentures, right? Like,
That's life altering.
yeah, dude. Like,
That's
they gotta take them out, put them in a disinfectant jar, wake up, put the fucking glue on it, and throw it back in. Every morning they gotta do that shit, and every night they gotta put it up. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier: is doing something the easy way is never the right way. Like, if this motherfucker just spent 30 extra seconds on tightening these 3, I think it was 3 bolts. It might have only been 2.
Dude, I was thinking about that fucking ship, dog. That motherfucker, they rushed him. He fucked that shit up, though. And that bitch sank to the bottom of the fucking lake.
unbelievable.
That shit was funny.
Oh man,
Guys, to kind of wrap things up here.
Yeah, let's wrap. Yeah,
I
Yeah,
just
it's
wanted,
getting late.
I just wanted to ask
We've been going for a long
couple
Yeah,
time.
running out
things.
of gas here, bro.
Justin,
too.
you have anything?
Over. I get tired easy.
Justin, you have anything
It's been, yeah,
that you
to be
want to
honest.
add to leadership roles and what it
I-
takes to be a great leader?
It's been great, man.
I think you guys pretty much covered it. A lot of it.
Justin, Isaac, and Coffee, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming.
This is definitely top 5 moments of one of the greatest times I've ever had.
Really?
Shit.
Yeah,
I'm glad to hear it.
Glad to be
Glad
here
to
for
hear
that
it,
and
man.
be a part of
Yeah.
that, brother.
Because to wrap up, sure, I've had friends that come and gone and whatnot, and we've all bullshit or whatever, but we've never like sat down to have a conversation for a few hours.
Sometimes
just like
guys
this.
just need that, man. They just need that. Like that's what
Especially
they need
the
sometimes.
intellectual kind of
Uh,
conversations.
Yeah.
Did also want to apologize.
Especially what you brought tonight, you know.
Because I really felt like I might have stepped over some people's toes.
Absolutely not.
No.
You are a guest on our show, and that means that you either can be the whole point of this show, a big part of it, or you can just be here for the experience.
And
What you did and what you brought to the table is a different perspective for the viewers and the fans, that's gonna be really well received.
Yeah. But I want to. You say that though. What makes you say that, man?
Well,
makes you say that?
you know, I was invited. I'm a guest. It's not my show, and I felt like I spoke for the majority of it.
This is your episode.
Okay, so yes,
Cool.
yes, you spoke the
Cool.
majority of it, but you were a special guest, and like it's kind of like it's more centered towards you. So it's that's kind of how it is, So it's I don't
Yeah.
say you.
It's like when
you know,
other people have
oh.
guests on, they allow them to speak more.
Right, they allow them to
because
speak
that's
more, yeah.
kind of why you watch the show, right?
Yeah,
Right, exactly.
Joe
You
Rogan
watch
does
Joe
that.
Rogan not
Yeah.
just because of Rogan, but because of who he has on.
Right, so when you come on the show, like you
That's okay.
and you told your
Okay.
stories,
You
that
did
was
well,
great.
man. You did fucking great.
You, yeah. I want to tell you something after the show.
I didn't
too.
speak
I'll
much
tell you
because
this after
I'm
the show.
tired as fuck.
Yeah,
To be honest, you do
Yeah.
speak a
I
lot
ma- I
more.
made- I
You're
made-
recovering, so
I made him drink a lot last night, so yeah.
Yeah.
See, he's usually better than this. But
When I get hangry,
He was
I get
great.
tired
Yeah.
quick.
he's usually better than this.
You asked me a
But-
few questions, and I there's us as
So-
men, we understand
so
that
the
there's
fa-
not many points where we feel important.
This is the first episode we said.
Being asked
we
questions, you guys made me feel important.
This is the first
and
episode.
that and I'm actually just
100%, brother.
genuinely curious.
This is the
dude.
first episode
That's
we said.
awesome,
We said
really.
fuck the book, which is we just going straight raw.
I'm sorry about that.
We
by the
going
way.
straight natural.
don't be
dude.
sorry. Hey,
Which is good. No, because like we speaking from the fucking heart for the past 3 hours. Like that's
Yeah.
just, that's what people want to see.
I'm
That's
almost
what
sad it's
people like.
over. This is genuinely one of the greatest times I've had in my entire life.
Well, I promise you.
Glad you have
I
fun,
promise you, we'll have you back on. I
Dude,
promise you.
that I
Yeah.
would love to be back.
Yeah, I promise you.
We'll plan
as
a
much
day.
or
Stick
as
around
We'll,
after the
we'll talk.
show.
We'll talk about the JFK thing, and then we'll talk about the
Dude,
other thing
I've
you're
got
talking
so
about.
much to say.
we're
about
gonna
that.
Dude,
have.
I
a-
feel like honestly, all the four of us hang out, we have endless conversation
Yeah, we'll
for
talk
fucking
about that.
Yeah.
years and years.
Yeah,
We're-
dude.
we're gonna
I
have
won't
a-
forget about that because you brought that. I won't forget about that.
We're gonna have a conspiracy episode
Yeah.
coming up.
Oh, please.
Trust me. Trust
Not
me
to
on
invite
this.
myself.
No, because actually, I do
Yeah.
like conspiracy theories.
yeah.
So Isaac,
So I want to hear
before
yours.
we officially end the show, I asked Justin if he had any final thoughts, and he said that we touched on most of them. Do you have any final thoughts on what it takes to be a great leader and what it takes to become a leader?
That's a tough one. So, I really think it begins and ends with the man. What I mean by that, guys, is like it starts with you, right? Before you even have a family, before you have anything, it starts with you. It starts with your mindset. And your mindset, you build a mindset and you stick with it and you manifest it and you see it come to fruition and you start to see where it takes you, and then before you know it, you're successful in this and that, and then you start a family, and then your family takes on you, in a way, right?
So you have to establish structure.
Right,
first
exactly,
before
right.
You can,
Right,
Okay.
which is
But
why
within yourself.
which is why I say it begins and ends with the man. So yeah, it starts with you. It always has to, and then you start a family like you guys did.
You gotta
Right.
be a role model before you
Right.
influence anybody.
Right, exactly, right. And then you but you have to put yourself first before you have a family, right? And then once you do that, then you have a family, and then you put them in a role where they can learn from you, and then they start to
You have to
start
learn first to spread the knowledge.
right, exactly, and
Yeah.
and then they learn from you, and then you put them in a great path, and then that's what a real leader does. He puts himself first way before they were existed, because a leader is leading other people, and I know it's from my job, and my job, dude. I talk to young kids. I tell them, like, look, like in my dog's a dog trainer. I told these two kids the other day. I said, look, your dog, you're gonna come next week. You can have a better attitude, because these two young kids, they were last week. It was a brother and a sister. They look like fucking twins, like 10 and 12 years old. I pulled both of them to the side. I said, look, you're here right now in my class right now. Your dog, he looks up to you, You're his leader, and you guys have an important role right now in this class as you come to learn from me, like your dog looks up to you. He's looking for you, to teach him everything he needs to know to be a good dog in society. Just like, you need to be a good person in society, So I'm motivating the kids, and that's what a real leader does. He motivates. He inspires people, and he tells them things that they need to know, that they didn't know before. You know, that's what a real leader does.
You can't make them believe, but you can give
You
them
try your
all
best.
the fuel and
Yeah.
all the
Right.
ammunition.
Exactly right.
Ammunition.
And that's
That's
exactly what I was
like
doing.
that.
That's exactly what I was doing. And
Give them the tools.
unfortunately, in life, guys, like you can't you can't help everyone. You can't. You can only
No.
help the people that really have an open ear and really want to take the advice.
People who accept
kinda
help
like-
will be
right.
helped.
It's-
So
It's kind of like when Jesus and his disciples would go to other establishments, villages, towns, and he said, if the people won't hear the word, then shake the dust off your feet and leave.
right. Yeah.
You know, people are willing to listen, but are they willing to listen to understand, or are they willing to listen to just respond and rebuttal?
Right. So why I said earlier, like if we just say one person, like I said in my job or on the podcast, if I help someone, like I've done more than zero. You know, so that's what matters.
And
you
more
know?
than zero is being successful.
Right. Exactly.
winning.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You're winning. Like you feel like you win.
Absolutely.
You feel like you're fulfilling your purpose. And,
So-
and that's what a real leader is.
It's
man.
like Vin Diesel. Doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning is winning.
yeah. So and to answer your question,
I know.
that's what a real leader is. All right.
Thanks for that, Isaac.
Well said, Isaac.
Yeah.
I'll just throw in real quick that to its nuts and bolts and down to its core, a leader is someone who's willing to put their subordinates above themselves, their needs above their own. The last person you should be thinking about as a leader is yourself.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Awesome, Henry. Awesome. Guys, episode 10 wrapping up here. 10. This is probably by far our longest
This is my
episode.
this is my favorite one for sure. It
Yeah,
was
this is probably
my
gonna
favorite
be
one.
our best episode to date.
This was my
Absolutely.
favorite one.
Absolutely.
So just to say, guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for coming on
Yeah,
this ride.
thank you for
with
coming
us.
here and hanging out, man. Make
And
sure you guys, do all the good stuff, fun stuff. Hit the subscribe button,
You
bell
know-
notification,
So,
comments, and remember,
I'm
you guys-
gonna timestamp this one, man.
you need anything you want to discuss, you can always email us. You can always write comments or one of our socials, anything like that.
I will
Just message us.
throw my hat in the ring if you email these fine gentlemen here and you wish
Mhm.
to speak to me. If you need anything,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I don't
Go ahead.
know
Or
Tell
if
me-
you guys
tell-
want to
tell-
reach out to Henry,
Go ahead. Tell
too,
me your
just
phone
message
number.
us.
Tell me your
he has
email.
my
Whatever
phone
you want to
number.
say.
He has my Facebook. Everything.
Yeah.
If you ever need someone to talk to, I'm here for you. I would like to be there for you. I would be
Mhm.
happy to be there for you.
You guys are not alone. Remember that.
No, you're not. You're really
No,
not.
right.
Love that. Thank you, man.
Thank you guys
Thank
so
you,
much
man.
for having me here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Henry.
Yeah,
For
Henry.
joining.
Shout out to Henry, big time. Thank
Mhm.
you, brother.
Yeah.
Guys, my father said it best: be the best version of yourself, so you can be the best version for everyone else that you're responsible for. Okay.
Great. That's yes.
Guys, it's been real. It's been fun.
been real.
I think it's been real fun.
It's been everything.
Top 5 greatest times I've had in my life, for real.
Fuck yeah.
That sounds like it might be a little boring, but this was honestly awesome. Thank you guys so much for having me here. I really appreciate it.
Definitely, brother. Thanks for coming
Thank you,
out.
Henry.
Yeah,
Big time.
really.
Guys, remember, as Brotivation, we have our slogan, and that is
Eat.
lift.
And conquer.
That's right.
Brotivation out.
Yeah.